Hello, everybody, and welcome to Champagne Sundays with your hosts, Lisa and Nancy, editors of BigBlendMagazine.com.
Well, welcome to our 11th Big Blend Radio Anniversary Show. We're getting younger every day. But today we're kicking off the show with a brunch party with some of our longtime Big Blend experts and contributors, and we're going to play Spontaneous. We've got Hollywood History with Steve Schneikert. We've got good music.
We're rocking it.
Stephanie McMillan over in Springfield, Kentucky is going to give us an update on what it's like to party and have a good time in Springfield, Kentucky in spring.
Cool.
So we're going to spring into Springfield. And we're also going to hear all about Linda Kazam, the food, wine, and shopping diva's adventures in Madrid.
Wow.
Yeah, she found tacos out there, too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but in a Mexican restaurant. You know how she has to have tacos wherever she goes. But the big brunch party is going to be a blast. I can't wait to get everybody on the show. We're going to have like a really cool panel discussion about success in 2018, living a life of excellence, and of course we're going to talk travel as well. But happy Sunday, everybody! It's January 7th, 2018. It is National Bobblehead Day. So I'm just saying.
Oh, I vote for that.
I know. But you're listening to Big Blend Radio. It's our Champagne Sundays variety show. We're streaming live from Tucson, Arizona. It's a beautiful day out here. We've had quite a mild winter. And we're your hosts, Nancy Reed and Lisa Smith, the Crazy Mother-Daughter travel team and publishers of the digital interactive Big Blend Radio and TV magazine and Parks and Travel magazine. If you go to BigBlendMagazines.com, you'll find both magazines there, and it'll link you through to our other websites and social media and all that good stuff. And speaking of magazines, Nancy, not only is it 11 years of streaming live here on Blog Talk Radio, and we've had so many different accounts over the years, too, because, at one point we were Southwest Blend. We've had different, it's the way it rolls. And this year marks 21 years of being Big Blend.
Wow, I never counted that.
I didn't even know we were in America for that long. Like, I still think I'm a teenager in Africa, but I'm not, apparently.
You need to dress differently.
I know. I think, and my hips, no, I'm not a teenager anymore either. But, before we go and get our guests on and have our fun and games here, really a big champagne toast, and I'm talking Magnum size, 21 Magnum size bottles here. We want to thank everyone for listening to our shows, reading our magazines, and everyone who is involved, all of our Big Blend Radio and TV magazine and Parks and Travel magazine, the contributors, the experts that we have, and also our marketing partners. I mean, all of you have just made this all possible, and it's been quite an adventure. We've gone through all kinds of changes, from being a print publication that was San Diego-based to being Southwestern to being national and international and going digital and doing videos, and it's been quite an adventure, Nancy.
We're not done yet.
No. So thank you.
We're just getting started.
I know. That's what it feels like. We've got some great announcements coming up as well, especially dedicated to what's happening in tourism and our commitment to this nonstop commitment we have to really bridge that gap between parks and their gateway communities, so visitors going to parks and traveling around can know what to see and do when they go visit a national park or one of their surrounding public lands and forests. So we've got some special announcements with that. But the very first one is, we air live here on Blog Talk Radio. The show streams out from there into like iTunes and TuneIn and Stitcher and Player.fm and all these different places. We also take the shows and interviews and post them on Spreaker.com and on SoundCloud.com and our websites and magazines. But as of today, we're also going to be taking every episode we do and every interview and publishing it on YouTube.com as well. So if you go to BigBlendRadio.com, you'll find the link right there, and you'll be able to start hearing our shows from 2018.
So now we have two YouTube formats,
yes.
One for video, one for interviews.
Yeah, that's right. So you've got Big Blend Mag, and then the other one is Big Blend Radio. So it's a brand new thing, so they don't give you a URL link like I want yet. So
they will.
They will. I called the Googlies. So
yeah,
there it is.
Right.
All right. So I think we can't, we've got a diva as part of our party guest lineup, and we can't keep them waiting. So everybody stay tuned. right. Are you ready to play, everybody? It is time for our little brunch party. And, what we're going to do is we're going to bring each of our guests on, and all of them are experts in Big Blend Radio and TV magazine and also Parks and Travel magazine. You can see them if you go to blendradioandtv.com and just click in on our expert department, and you'll see them all in all their different articles and interviews as well. But we're going to start in San Diego, and we're going to hang out with Bobbi DePorter. She is the Queen of Excellence. She is the co-founder of SuperCamp, which is the world's leading summer academic achievement program for teens and preteens. She's also the president of Quantum Learning Network, which really works also with teachers and the entire education system. And she also created the 8 Keys of Excellence. Nancy and I are ambassadors for that very proudly. And the 8 Keys of Excellence is a part of what our panel discussion is today. And she's also the author of multiple books, including the 8 Keys of Excellence, Principles to Live By. Her latest book is Excellence in Teaching and Learning, the Quantum Learning System. She co-authored that with Barbara K. Given. Everything about Bobbi and SuperCamp, go to supercamp.com, and you can go to 8keys.org, the number 8, to learn more about what we're going to talk about today with Bobbi. But Bobbi, welcome back. How are you?
I'm doing great. Really excited for the new year.
Yeah, I know. It's 2018. It's exciting, and we're thrilled because you're back on our anniversary show, and you've been part of our network, our Big Blend family, for so many years. I think even from the very beginning of our radio shows, and so many articles you've written, and we've done so much. I just thank you for being part of it.
Yes, you're welcome. In fact, I was reflecting and trying to remember how many years. It's been a long time. It's been great.
I don't know. Yeah. All my email files got deleted, so thank you to tech out there. But I'll speak with good purpose, the key of excellence. I've been practicing that lately. But so all those kind of things went out the window. I had like our initial emails and everything, but that got deleted. But it's a fresh year. So before we go further, Bobbi, this is important. Priscilla, our little sock monkey, she is being hostess today. She's our travel mascot. She is whipping up breakfast in the kitchen. What would you like for brunch? Would you like something to drink? What would you like to eat?
Well, first of all, it's location. I'm sitting at a table in a beautiful garden, having an omelet filled with fresh vegetables from the garden and drinking juice from fruit freshly picked from the tree. So I can just picture being there.
Nice.
Priscilla likes to hang out in the garden, too.
And she likes trees with fruit.
And I know your area up in North San Diego, you've got that really cool, area where they're growing a lot of fruit, avocados, and you've got that exotic fruit place. I remember in Vista, California. Mm-hmm. That's a cool place if you get a chance to go into that nursery. They have everything from around the world.
Yeah, that's a really good place.
Yeah, dragon fruit and Buddha's hands and all kinds of nice stuff. So that sounds nice and fresh and delicious. Okay, so now we're going to go north a little bit from Bobbi DePorter in San Diego. We're going to go to Seal Beach. This time, I think Diva Linda Kassam, the food, wine, and shopping diva, she is not on a boat today, but she's at the beach. She's a travel writer and a regular columnist for Big Blend Radio and TV magazine, as well as Parks and Travel magazine. And, since she's a diva and she really knows about travel and organizing and marketing and PR, she is also the president of the International Food, Wine, Travel Writers Association. And you can keep up with all things diva-related at allingoodtaste.info. Diva Linda, how are you?
I'm very good. Thank you very much.
So good to have you back on. And I was thinking back, too, about the first time working with you. It was also when we first started the radio show. Like, it's got to be like around the 11 years now. And I'll never forget, like, some of the every New Year we do the show, I think of you running around in your pajamas getting coffee and getting locked out of your car. Remember that?
Oh, my Lord. Oh, my gosh, yes. I still have that car. Yes, I do. Oh, it was awful. It was awful. I was in the middle of the street. I was supposed to be on your show. I couldn't get the damn thing open. Oh, my God. Well, there you go.
I know, but it's been, I was thinking about all the places you've been.
Yep.
I was looking at Pittsburgh, Montana. You've got Jordan, Madrid that we're going to talk about, all these Viking River cruises you've been taking. I mean, you have literally, I can't even count how many places you've been to in the last 10, 11 years. It's pretty crazy.
I've been very, very lucky and fortunate, and hopefully that will continue, and really pleased to be able to share it with your listeners and readers. So It's been a good partnership, and I thank you. And in honor of your anniversary today, your 11th anniversary calls for special shoes. So if you don't know, an 11th anniversary are roses and steel. So I have a rose-colored pair of shoes with steel tips just for you guys today.
See, now that I love that, because that means I think we're going to go to the Wizard of Oz with this. I like this. Thank you, and thank you for being part of this journey. It's been so exciting. We've done so many things. We've traveled together, and we've been all over, so it's been super fun. Now we're going to go north to San Jose for some Hollywood history. Oh, wait. Oh, my gosh, I forgot to take the order, Diva's order, Diva Linda.
Oh.
That's like really rude. I've been fired before out of the restaurant world, so now you know why. What can we make for you and serve you?
So I was thinking today would be a really good day for Spanish churros and their special type of hot chocolate with a side of sangria.
Oh, yeah, I saw those photos from your trip to Madrid, and everyone, we're going to talk about that a little later in the show. Diva Linda will talk about, sangria, paella. Apparently that's hard to find in Madrid, but you found it. Good paella, if I'm saying it correctly. Yeah, there it is. So now, and that's the other thing, we're going to talk about the 8 Keys of Excellence, and you've actually been to Super Camp. That's one of our adventures with you, too. So this is
wonderful.
Very cool. Everyone's got some kind of connection here. Our next guest, Steve Schneikert, you hear his Hollywood history segments on Big Blend Radio all the time, and he's been a big part of creating and working with us to do Big Blend Radio plays, which have all been crazy, wacky, fun, and good. And also, sometimes he appears as Carol Channing. You never know who he may be on a show, but I think today is Steve, and he's up in San Jose, and you can listen to his different segments if you go to blendradioandtv.com. But Senor Steve, how are you?
I'm doing quite well today, thank you.
It's so good to have you back on the show, and also thank you for all what you do with Hollywood history on our shows. People love them. It's
fun.
Almost 700,000 people. I've been looking just on your expert page. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think people like you and what you do. I know we do.
That's great to hear. Thank you for giving me the opportunity of doing them.
Oh, we love them. We love them. And the other thing is you're going to have a Hollywood history segment that you did for one of our anniversary shows, because we like to go into the vault. And this one is on radio in the 30s and 40s. And I think as we get so digital these days, it's so cool to reflect on radio of the old school days, where radio plays and things like that. So excited to air that again. But also you do a lot with the 8 Keys of Excellence too, with also the current magazine, Big Blend Radio and TV magazine. You have your Celebrity Success one in there, so you do a lot with that. So that's another connection. In regards to everyone being connected. But now, what can I take, for your order? What would you like? What would you like to eat and drink? We're sitting here going.
Keep in mind that Priscilla's cooking.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to start off with lox and bagels with cream cheese and red onion, and then have a Denver scramble with avocado. Also on the side, fruit salad, and Perrier with lime to drink.
Wow, like he's going full style, dude. He's styling. I'm liking it. Priscilla, good luck with that one. Take that order. Go for it, girl. So and also in reference to Diva Linda's shoes, does that go in the ruby red department?
Yes.
Do you think with the Wizard of Oz, the click click? That's why she gets around a lot. She's got special shoes.
I steal tips.
I know. You never know when you need them.
Like when she needs people to kind of move out of her way.
I know. Well, now we're going to go to an area where I think we may need boots. We're going to go east, and we're going to go to Central Kentucky to hang out with Stephanie McMillan. We call her the Bourbon Queen. She is the executive director of the Springfield Tourism Commission, and Springfield is right in the middle of really Kentucky. So if you're going to go there, you might as well just stay there and go hang out in the rest of the state. Go just with that as your base. And you can go to the website, visit springfieldky.com. Stephanie, how are you doing?
I'm freezing.
Oh,
it's cold here.
Really? Well, you need to come back to the desert.
I know.
You know? So, wow. So it's up there. It's cold. So, I thought that, you guys had gentle 4 seasons, or are you getting that big storm that's been going through?
I was spoiled by my 10 years in Arizona, so I'm really missing the warmth, really missing it.
Wow. Well, I've been walking around bare feet today, so just saying.
Oh, nanny.
No, and that's so funny. That's the thing about Stephanie. Stephanie goes way back when we were actually just a print magazine. I think we were online when we knew you. At Southwest Blend is what we were at the time.
Yeah.
And
long time.
Yeah. And you were out in Yuma, and we did work with you in the Civic Center and all kinds of good stuff. And then you helped me put together the media trip for the International Food, Wine, Travel Writers Association. So you know Diva Linda, the two of you have been on shows and met as well. And Stephanie is the one who knew to give all the writers cold water when they walked in the door. Isn't that right, Linda?
That is correct. That's one of the biggest mistakes tourism people forget about is to make sure that the writers have water in the van and when they first arrive. So I'll always remember Stephanie for that great thing. Thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah, she hooked us up with a lot a good stuff too.
My pleasure.
She's a hooker-upper. Whoa, gotta watch what I say there. Okay, so now I think we're gonna go over the pond. We're gonna get our little swimming armband things on, and we're gonna go splish splash across to Norfolk, England, to hang out with Glenn Burrows. He is a family history expert and owner of Norfolk Tours in England. Does a lot of articles in our Parks and Travel magazine and Big Blend Radio and TV magazine. A lot of times it's about family history and how we're connected to England, a lot of us, and also about all the different things to not only see in Norfolk, but over the past year, he expanded to cover all of England. So welcome back, Glenn. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing good, thanks. But you forgot another order there, you know.
I know. Priscilla is like doing silly things. I was going to take a double order because she has got plates on top of her head.
You need to go.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So, but she says you need some tea. Are you doing okay over there?
I need something, I tell you.
Oh, wow. Well, are you getting cold weather in England now, too?
Yeah, that was a bit chilly today. We went out to the coast. If you have a look on my Facebook page, we went out to the coast to see the seals because a lot of them are up on the beach, giving birth. So we saw quite a lot of seal pups, the grey seals on the beach. But it's jolly chilly out there, I'll tell you that much for nothing. And,
So
the last time we spoke, I had that really deep, husky voice. Well, yes. I've had a cold. Well, in England we call it man flu because it's nearly deadly for us men, and I've had that ever since. So I've still got it.
I'm sorry. Well,
I need lots and lots of sympathy and looking after and tucking in and
I'm
things.
sorry, but it's man flu every country, every place I've been in. It's not just in England, it's around the world.
Right.
But our sympathy, and we're sending you tea, and if we were still living in South Africa, I'd give you what's called Borstal, but you would never want it again. They actually put turpentine in it, gum.
But it works.
And it was the worst, most vile stuff, but the next day I was like, okay, I can move, but I don't think it was really good for us. But let's get Priscilla back in the kitchen here. So Stephanie, what can I get you or Priscilla, what can she get you for your champagne brunch?
My champagne brunch, I would like some country sausage with a biscuit and a bourbon spritzer.
Wow. All right. Okay. Well, she is in the land of bourbon, horses, and history. So,
right.
She's on the bourbon trail, so that's what's going to happen there. Now, Glenn, what can we get you other than tea? Like really good tea and maybe Borstal. We'll get that imported in real quick.
No, I think I'll pass on that.
Yeah.
Well, as much as we all love Steve, I do think he's being a little bit greedy. His order is enough to feed the 5,000, really, isn't it? Come on, be honest.
Are you going to share?
All I'm going to have, because I'm not like that. I'm going to have a Cromer crab sandwich on granary bread and a black coffee. Because Cromer up on the North Norfolk coast is really famous for its beautiful crabs, and I love crab sandwich, but it has to be on a really rough brown bread.
Wow.
That'll do me.
Huh. Well, there you go. Priscilla, you got to get out there to England now. Go quick.
She's afraid of crabs.
But I want to congratulate you on expanding to all of England with your tours, because it's not like you go, okay, we're going to point A, B, C, and this is the same tour I take everywhere. Every person that connects with you, you customize it completely, which is, really, it's a special thing to do. But now you're doing all of England, so congratulations on the expansion. But also, are you ever going to cross over? Because we just watched a new TV show last night from England, and they made fun of, she's from Wales, so I want to know if you're going to cross over into Wales. I remember some rivalry with that.
It's mainland UK. I don't mind where I go on mainland UK. So England, Wales, and Scotland. I don't mind where I go. I mean, I have been up to Edinburgh with one group, and I've been right down to Cornwall with another group, because I found that people wanted to go where they wanted to go, and that's what I do. So I thought, well, all I've got to do is do a little bit more homework, and I can go anywhere, really.
That's so cool.
I love that. And one last thing before we get into our panel discussion, I talk about everyone being connected on this, and one connection has nothing to do with Big Blend, but it's pretty darn cool, is that Stephanie is in the birthplace of, where she's at the, where the Abraham Lincoln legacy was started, because this is the birthplace of Abraham Lincoln's mother, and so that's a big part, and she's on the Lincoln Heritage Trail. She also makes Lincoln logs. I'm just kidding. but this is so interesting because, over in England, Glenn, you are part of, Abraham Lincoln's family comes from there too, in Norfolk, right?
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln's early ancestors were living in a village about 3.5 miles away from me.
Wow.
And when they left England, they had, his branch of the family had moved about 10 miles to a little tiny, well, it's not a little tiny village, it's a large village but a small town called Hingham in Norfolk. And when they arrived in America, they decided that they would call the place that they settled Hingham in Massachusetts. And if you look on the map of Norfolk, there's a little place called Hingham, and that's where Abraham Lincoln's ancestors actually sailed to America from. But they originated from about 3 miles up the road from where I live, where I'm sitting today.
Wow.
That's cool.
Stephanie, we're going to have to do a show. I know we keep threatening to do this, but we have to do it and make it happen in 2018, that we do a show so we can do like the whole trail from Norfolk to Springfield. What do you think? And then we can go to Indiana.
I would love it.
I know. We'll do it when we come. We're going to be going to Springfield this year. That's a cool thing. We're going to go to Natchitoches, Louisiana. We're back on the road this year, like big time.
Woohoo!
And we're super excited. And so we'll have to do it when we're in Springfield. We'll have to make it happen then.
That would be great.
Yeah, we'll make something cool happen with that. But it's time to play panel discussion. Okay, so now it's our first question of today's party. What does success look like for each of you in 2018? And I have to say this again. We stole this question from Diva Linda because that's what travel writers do.
That's right.
That when traveling with her, that she would ask people that. I was like, man, that's a really good question.
Mm-hmm.
I want that one. So now I'm stealing it in front of her, with her.
Blatant steal.
I know. I like it. So let's start with the Queen of Excellence, because a lot of times on our 8 Keys of Excellence shows, we do special shows throughout the year and do special features of it in the magazines, both of them. And we always talk about the difference between success and excellence. So, excellence is like a habit. It's part of a lifestyle. But success is kind of more goal-oriented, right? Am I getting this straight, Bobby?
Yes, you certainly are. Good.
So now, success, what does it look like for you for this year?
Well, I love this year. It's 2018, and 2018 has an 8 in it. So I think that success, I look at skyrocketing the number of people who join the 8 Keys and take the pledge, because we're at 20 million, and get that up to 35 million this year. So that would represent a lot of good behavior and character going on in the world to increase that number and build awareness.
I love that. And the number 8 is infinity. That's how hummingbird wings work.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Yeah, they go in this circular thing of 8, and it's like butterflies, and it means that infinity. And you can have metamorphosis, which goes with with the whole thing.
There's a whole lot behind.
That's a whole long conversation on that. But isn't that part of Buckminster Fuller, who was your mentor? He talked about that, like how a caterpillar didn't know he was going to turn into a butterfly. So that's part of that.
That is, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's looking at what you're headed, what's your goal, what's your intention, and then the procession that happens from that. It's wonderful.
So, Diva Linda, your own question to you. What does success look like for you in 2018?
Well, I think about this a lot, and I'm a goal maker, and for 2018, it's a good health, because I've been struggling with my back. So I think I'm almost there. Good health, continued travels, and successfully wrapping up and finalizing my time as president of IFTWA. I think I've had 6 or 8 years, and that's enough, and I'm ready to move on to something else after December of 2018.
Wow. Well, where? But no, I think it's always
good.
Well,
that doesn't mean I won't travel. It just means
I know.
Something different.
I think you've just done. We've watched IFTWA grow. With Marilyn Hill, and then you being there too, and Michelle Winter, and just watching it grow over the years has been really amazing. And everyone, the International Food Wine Travel Writers Association is like a network of journalists, photographers, food, wine, travel, obviously, and then also the CVVs and the visitor bureaus and people involved in this. And I think it's such an important thing for not only our local economy, but for our worldwide economy. So, I think you've done such an amazing job. And just to see where your conferences are going, I know you've got one in May 2018, Whidbey Island and Camano. I'm saying it right now, Camano Island.
Yep.
Just incredible. So hats off to you and toast to you on that, and to your health. We want your back, all fixed up. So
me too.
That's it.
Me too. Thanks.
Now, Senor Steve Schneikert, what does success look like for you in 2008, amigo?
Well, after what I've been through from November until now, if I could wake up in the morning, take a nice deep breath, see things clearly, and be able to walk, 2018 is going to be very successful for me.
Yeah, your health is. I know that Steve called into a show. This is it, Live in the Now, make every moment matter. Our 8 Keys of Excellence show, and it was November, December for our January issue of the magazine that's out there now. And he had recorded a Hollywood history segment, and we had technical issues, and he's been sick, and ended up calling in, even though you were not, you shouldn't have done that, but you did it. So I think you're going to be very healthy this year. And you've talked a lot on the shows also about your struggles with MS and how you've pulled through and made really good decisions and your commitment to your health. So I believe this year will be very good for you, Steve.
Yes.
Does Mama Babushka say so?
Of course. She is always listening. Nobody knows where she comes from, but she interrupts all the time.
Yeah, see? There you go. Okay, I know. Well, we've got to bring Mama Babushka into the show. She likes to pop up, yeah, for sure. Stephanie Bourbon Queen, what does success look like for you in 2018?
Well, as far as Springfield is concerned, which I'm very much a part of this project, to see our soundstage up and running would mean success for me. We've been working very hard on this deal, and it's going to be so good for the town. It's going to be so good for Kentucky. The film industry relocating to Kentucky is so exciting. So when I can actually see it up and running and people getting their instruction and film and products being made, that's when I would call it a success.
It's exciting because
it really is.
You and James Bond were on the show.
Yes.
Everyone, if you get the January-February issue of Big Blend Radio and TV magazine, you'll see this. We have a Success in the Arts feature. That's where Steve's Hollywood history is too. And Stephanie and James Bond were on the show talking about Springfield and the movie industry, because you have the only soundstage in the entire state of Kentucky, and free opportunities for those to go and learn about the film industry, which I think is so incredible, because it's expensive. College is expensive, but to have these educational opportunities, not only being a site, like an actual place to film, but to have the education with that. I think that's key as well, Stephanie. And it's good for tourism. So
it's very good for tourism. I mean, it's so good for everybody here. It's sort of a rare opportunity to where the whole community benefits. Not just my job, of course, that's what I'm working towards, but the whole community has some stake in it, some benefit from it.
Excellent.
That's great.
And James Bond just got seriously, his name is that, James Bond III. He just got put in the Smithsonian, right? He's listed in the Smithsonian for his work in film.
Yes, he got the induction in 2017. Although the actual ceremony is and whatever they do for a new exhibit will be in 2018.
Excellent.
That's exciting.
I know. This is very cool. Now, Glenn, what does success in 2018 look like? Are you going to take over another country?
Cool.
Uh-oh. Glenn went away. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get him back on here.
She was thinking
okay,
that might be the
Glenn,
real one.
No, Glenn, you got to start again because
sorry.
Priscilla was managing
the.
Yeah, Priscilla was managing the switchboard, and she shouldn't do anything.
Diane was getting excited when you were talking about James Bond because she does love James Bond, and now I've had to disappoint her. That's not the right one, so never mind. Success for me is actually doing very similar to what I've been doing last year, just enjoying life and having lovely visitors who actually have got a passion for what they want to see, and to see them enjoying it. That is really lovely. It's a really lovely thing to be part of somebody's experience. So that's what I want. I want more of the same, and the passion and the just the feeling of them enjoying themselves, because that's what I do it for.
It's exciting, isn't it? That's what I love about travel and that connection to history and that family history that you do.
It's such an honor to be able to show people what they want to see, and for me it's just everyday life, But for them, I mean, when I'm walking around Norwich or any other place in England, and we walk into a medieval church, for me it's still awe-inspiring. But for people who have nothing of anything like that age, for them to actually think, wow, this has been here for 1,000 years, and to see them enjoy it, that's amazing. And that, I mean, as anyone else involved in tourism will know that, generally speaking, when you get a party of people looking round, there's at least 90% of them who really would rather be somewhere else. But the lovely thing with what I do is that 99.9% of my guests want to be here because that's where they've chosen to come. So that's what I love about it. And I want more of the same, please.
Okay. Priscilla, make the delivery. But don't trust her. No, I love that. And the thing, too, I want to tell everyone, January 21st, we're doing a tour guide insider with Glenn on our World Radio Party. But he's also going to sit in our panel discussion at the top of the show. We have international food, wine, travel writer Lisa Deutsch joining us as our panel discussion, and also Lara Dunning, who I invited because she was posting a photo of a ship that replica of a ship, that her ancestors came in on back in Jamestown. And I was like, dude, we got to put you with Glenn on the show because you do so much with family history. So you'll be able to hear that. So it's very exciting.
Cool.
Yeah. So, Nancy, what about you? I always like to ask my mom about what her goals are.
Yeah, right, because you don't know.
Mommy, what are you doing this year?
Nothing. No. I was just thinking back. We've lived on 3 continents. We've been to more than 10 countries, and we have gathered photos. We've written notes. We have experienced tourism. We've worked in the field for so long that I have been trying to get it all together and somehow put it into a format to share with other people, especially communities, to help them realize the economic boost they can get from good, responsible, sustainable tourism. And we were having lunch with Bobby DePorter one day, and it finally came to me, this is how you organize it, because we've got the info and we've got the experience, and I learned through Bobby how to put it into a format. So we're launching a new series in our magazine. It's going to be called Putting the I Back in Community, and it is based on the 8 keys, and it's going to reflect tourism, how you manage it, keep it right, keep it authentic, and let everybody on both sides, the visitors and the people in the destination, get the best out of it. So, and it's been a goal of mine for a long time, and I thank you, Bobby, for giving me the format on how to organize it, present it, and do it. And that's what I'm doing this year.
I love hearing that.
It's exciting. It's going to be launching in this February-March issue of Parks and Travel magazine. So now we can hold Nancy's feet to the fire. No, kidding. I'm kidding. But no,
that's never been done.
No, it's exciting because it's like writing a book, but since we have a magazine, she can at least get started and start with articles. But down the road, she has bigger plans. Yeah, right. I know she does. Because she keeps talking and writing and doing things. So this is super exciting. I've got another announcement.
Yes.
This is part of my year of success, and many of you know that Nancy and I have got this thing about national parks, and not only the national parks, like the 59 big ones we have in this country. It's all about the monuments and the trails, the historic trails, and the forests and things. So we have 417 units within our national park system in this country, and some of them are actually outside of them. But doing the tour, we spent 3 years traveling and spending a lot of it in hotel rooms trying to get good internet to do what we do. We learned so much, and we thought we'd be on the road for 5 years documenting every single park. And our thing was to connect the gateway communities to the parks. While we were on the road, we experienced a government shutdown, and when that happened, we realized just how important the parks are to the community and the communities are to the parks. And with this goal, we came back. We've been home for a year and a half, and relaunched websites, new magazines, all of the stuff we've done, and we've now got to the place where we can unroll the next level of what we're doing. And it's going to take a big commitment, and it's part of our commitment. We're still on our quest to visit all 417 national park units, but we also went global with it and wanted to incorporate more forests and more towns. And with our website, nationalparktraveling.com, which is the home of our Parks and Travel magazine, we've been looking at this, and we've now figured out how we're going to do this to really, really bridge that gap so that travelers going anywhere in the country and around the world will be able to find the right hotel, what there is to see and do, to learn more about the towns, because they're so connected to the parks. It also has to do with conservation, has to do with making sure that parks are protected and funded. There's a lot of that issues right now, but anyway, this is where my success is, that this goal that I have, and Nancy and I have, but I'm going to be the one calling everyone to do it, is that we are opening up our nationalparktraveling.com to allow every nonprofit attraction, event facility, activity, CVB, Visitor Bureau, Welcome Center, museum, to have a free page on our site, a free listing page. It's not the big stuff we do with other marketing, but this is all because of our marketing partners we're able to do this. You will all have a free listing. You have to apply for it, though, because we don't do those listings like those other directories and all that stuff. We want visitors and travelers that come on our website. It's over 1.2 million visitors a month, to be able to access information, see the park, see the Visitor Bureau, see the attractions and what there is to see and do immediately. And so we're allowing that to be free for this year. And my goal is, since it's 2018, keeping with those numbers, Bobby,
yes,
I'm going to make it that we have 2018 listings, page listings in our travel guides on this website this year. So that's my success. So by December 31st, I want to see 2018 new visitor bureaus, museums, nonprofits on that website. So help me, please. Go to nationalparktraveling.com. It's all up there. So that's our new thing.
Yes,
and people get a listing, they get a photo, they get a Google map, and a link back to their website. So it's good marketing. And I thought, Diva Linda, that's pretty cool for visitor bureaus, right?
I think that's I think it's wonderful, and I do think you could reconsider on the restaurant thing. Remember that there are nonprofit restaurants. Remember the one I went to in Pittsburgh that every month or every quarter, I can't remember, month or quarter, they changed to a different type of cuisine, global cuisine, and that was to teach the community because it was next to the university. To teach the students and the community about what global cuisine is supposed to be like, along with lectures and seminars and stuff. So you might open yourself up to that because that was really special.
It's absolutely part of everything. If it's an attraction, activity, and educational tourism thing, that is absolutely. If it's a nonprofit or government run, like the city of this town or that town often runs a visitor department, so we're open to that. So
absolutely,
that's what we're doing. So everyone, nationalparktraveling.com, just submit it, put your photo, your listing, and we'll be back in touch, and you'll get the free listing for a year, and then we contact you after that to make sure your listing is current, and then we go, and that's what we do.
That's it.
So anyway, thank you, marketing partners, for making that happen. Okay, so everybody ready for our next round?
Yes.
Priscilla's in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's time to play 8 Keys of Excellence because this, again, is that habit of excellence, and Bobby's project, talk about a nonprofit. This is such an incredible program on a quest to get 50 million people around the world, especially teens and preteens and kids, living these keys of excellence. And you can go to 8keys.org. There's a free family project, a program for that. And so, Bobby, you want to give everybody a quick run-through about the 8 keys, because each one of us are going to choose our key for the year that we want to live by.
Yes, the 8 Keys of Excellence are a set of guiding principles that become our core and represent who we are. And they are integrity, match behavior with values, failure leads to success, learn from mistakes, speak with good purpose, speak honestly and kindly, this is it, make the most of every moment, commitment, make your dreams happen, ownership, take responsibility for actions, flexibility, be willing to do things differently, and balance, live your best life.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have them all?
Yes, you can have them all.
I use Speak with Good Purpose quite a bit. It's like we went through. I went through some major tech drama over the holidays on deadline, and I spent 3 full days with tech support in different countries. And I have to tell you, the Speak with Good Purpose key was like stapled to my forehead, and then I had to put it in front of me. Because, if you want things done, you got to speak with good purpose. It doesn't work any other way. Just saying.
That was a test.
That was a test. And I was like, if Bobby could see me now. But
you get instant feedback.
I know. Yeah. It's like, whew. But so, Bobby, what is your key for the year? Because you guys do this at Super Camp, right? You choose a key, or how does that work?
Yes. Actually, at the beginning of summer, we lay the keys down on the floor upside down where you can't see them, and then it's walking and see which one comes to you, and then reflect on why that key. But this one, and so we just did this last week, again, is looking at what is our key for 2018, because we're doing it on the show, so I thought we'd do it here. But this felt, that to help keep the keys with us, we body peg them to our body. It's association with different locations on the body, and that's a way to remember them, and also they feel, closer to us. So when I was thinking about what key, I kept, scanning up and down from my head to my toes, what key, and it came on a key, and I thought, oh, not that one for this year, so let's try that again. So I scanned my body again, and it's like, I'm focusing on the same key. So it's not what I expected, but my key for this year, 2018, is the key of integrity. And what came up for me is, integrity can be defined as, moral and ethical principles. And I think, I like to think of myself as a moral person. That's not really an issue for me. I feel like that's my come from. But what really stood out is our definition is match our behavior with our values. So I'm thinking, how do I take that deeper? Because there's so many things I value, from my relationship with my husband, Joe, with my family, friends, my health, my work making a difference, and positive relationships. So I was thinking, I value all those things. And so I'm really going deep in, okay, get real. What are the behaviors that show and highlight those things, and really reflecting on going deeper with my behaviors, not just surface, but what's that underlying behavior, and is it truly aligned with my values?
Dude, a lot of us don't want to do that, Bobby. That means we have to really be honest with ourselves, and that's the hardest part about moving forward, is that honesty part, I think. But once you do it, you start to realize, I can move forward faster, And then you can move on to failure leads to success. So there we go. That's the second key. But hi to Joe, by the way, and everyone at Super Camp. And I do want to tell people, you can go to 8 Keys of Excellence on Facebook. We've been posting up there some of the radio shows and articles and features that we've been doing there. So keep up with that. It's a good way to keep it in our minds, so it's living with us all the time. And it's such a good program. Again, 8keys.org. And schools can be part of this. It's just such a big thing, 20 million people in and 30 million to go. So let's do it. So yes. Diva Linda, I know you know about the 8 Keys of Excellence, going to Super Camp and doing a show there, and also coming from the world of education as well. So what key is for you this year?
Flexibility, I think, and generally that comes from any of us who've had an illness that gets in our way or puts roadblocks in our way. Suddenly remember that you're not always in 100% control of what you do. You like to think you are, and I certainly have that type of personality. But sometimes you have to recognize that, somebody tells you that you should be able to take a 20-minute, 30-minute walk every day, but if you take a 20, 30-minute walk every day, your back won't work. There's got to be flexibility in there. Maybe that's a 5-minute walk. Maybe that's not a walk at all until you find out what, the reason is, and then move forward from there. So, and secondly, my last year as president reminds me that even though the president is supposed to have their own vision and gently lead others to through their vision, everybody has the equal vote. And when you get voted down, you be flexible enough to support those who have a slightly different version of what you thought would work.
Wow. I love that. I think, and it's reality, man. It's like these keys do go deep when you really start to think about those connectivities and how they can really propel you forward. And being at the helm of an organization like IFTWA, International Food, Wine, Travel Writers Association, I don't know if I could do that. I think I'd freak out. So many people talking to you all the time. It'd be like, So it's a lot to learn from that. And yeah, you know what? Eventually, Diva Linda, 1 hour walk will happen. It's just those baby steps, in recovery and healing.
I did do a 1 hour walk this week on a cruise liner. On a world cruise liner, and it was actually about 3 hours. I made it through it.
Wow.
I had to give up other things to be able to do that, but that's the idea of being flexible,
Yeah.
What can you do here in order to go there? And so I think when I was looking at the keys this week, I thought, the flexibility was probably the one that would be most important to me the first quarter of this year, and then I think Speak with Good Purpose will probably round out the end of the year. So, these
I'll
are
give
beautiful
you tips
things.
if you want. Not kidding.
Yeah. You can all use them. I'll tell you that.
But I think that should be my key. But no, and I think it's true. Flexibility comes with travelers too. That's something you always have to have on your side. Everybody should have it on their keychain, and that's why I love about the keys. It's like in your face all the time. Now, Steve Schneikert, I know you do so much with the 8 Keys on our shows, and I can't wait for everyone to hear. The next one is going to be January 14th, next Sunday. We're going to be talking about integrity, and Steve's got an amazing segment that we're putting together. But what is your key for the year?
Well, I have to ditto Bobby, and she couldn't have said it better, but it's integrity. As you know, Lisa, and also Nancy, what's been going on here in my household. So for 2018, it's integrity, because I want to sleep at night.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is,
it's important.
It's a huge part of it. And yeah, that's true. You can really do sleep. So it's all going to be good, amigo. It's all going to be good.
Yeah.
Stephanie,
You betcha.
out in the bluegrass country. Like, okay, so why is it
bluegrass.
called bluegrass anyway?
Well, we do have a variety of grass that when it's a darker blue, so there's when the dew is on there or when the sun hits it at a certain angle, it really is a brilliant blue. Everybody should see it at some point.
Well, we're going to see it soon.
It's a kind of grass.
I know. So now what is your key of excellence? Because I think, Stephanie, when you were in Yuma, you were the first person we talked with and started doing the 8 Keys videos with and everything, and then you moved. But I don't know. So maybe it was I don't know. I'm not going to go there. But the 8 Keys, because you did a lot in leadership in Yuma as well, and you love the program. So tell us what your key is for this year.
This year, I'd like to focus on balance. I love my job, and I could easily do it 7 days a week, and before I know it, half the year's gone. And I think it's important to reflect on yourself and have a good balance with taking care of myself physically and mentally, because in turn, I think that lets me be a better tourism director.
That's true. Yeah, that's the thing about balance. You put it all together so it can actually work. So let's go over to Glenn in England. What is your key of excellence?
Well, today, funnily enough, you've been talking about the 1 hour walk. Well, Diane and I had a 1.5 hour walk today on the beach, watching the seals at Horsey, which was a lovely day out. But the trouble was, I took the wrong pair of wellies with me, and I've ended up with blisters on my feet because they were too small for me. So the key of excellence that I would obviously need is the fact that I need to learn from my mistakes and actually check before I shut the boot of my car and make sure that I've got the right pair of wellies in the back of the car, So I need to learn from my mistakes.
It's just for all of us to hear wellies over here, I'm just saying funny. It's just so different, and especially here in the desert. I have some sandals.
You would have been a bit cold today if you'd have been wearing sandals.
Yeah,
have a look at my Facebook post. There's some good pictures of the beach. It's not a beach where you see anybody laying out on their towels, I'm afraid. Not today.
Yeah, I saw a few photos right before the show, and it looked really cool, especially the seals. But
it's beautiful.
Was it on your personal page or on Norfolk Tours Facebook page?
I put them on both.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so now, Nancy.
Yes.
What is your key of excellence?
Well, I'm going to have to go with integrity this time around because I'm deep in the project of putting the IBAC in community, and I know from all of what we've learned over the past 30-something years that in the tourism industry as well as other industries, integrity has to come first. People visit destinations who have a sense of identity. They know who they are. And if you don't know who you are, it's hard to convince somebody else to visit you. So I think just looking at that, you have to know who you are. You have to have the integrity and to stay who you are and present who you are in an honest way. So I think integrity is a good one to start with. It's going to help me get this together because I know that people who travel are looking to be educated. That's why they travel. They travel to be educated, to be entertained, and to be inspired. So I think it's good to start with integrity.
Somebody was saying something there. Who was talking? We couldn't hear you.
That's an echo.
Okay. I thought maybe it was, one of your alien friends.
It could be.
Yeah. But I heard something there. Sorry. I don't know. No, I think this is going to be so cool. Sense of place.
Can I come in there?
Yes.
Yeah, talking about integrity and community, you know, I do think that if you've got an identity, something that you're proud of within your community, you have to really shout about it, because so many places have got something that's really, really special, and they think, oh, nobody's interested in that because that, you know, that's just whatever. But you know, it is interesting. Everybody has got something special. And, you know, today, like I said, I don't want to keep shouting about it, but, you know, I've been out on the beach. There was absolutely nothing there apart from a beach and a few seals. And up the road was a little tea shop that was in an old converted barn. It was absolutely heaving. It was so busy, we had to wait about half an hour to be served. But it's because people know that if you want to go and see seals on the beach, that's the place to go. And that whole area is all about seals. You know, that is what it is. That community shouts about seals, and everyone goes there, and everyone goes and spends their money in the local tea shop. You know, so that's what you need. You need to have, you know, the integrity. You also need to have your passion. You know, be passionate about what you do and who you are, and let everybody else know about it.
It's true.
It's really true. I look at, you know, it's Springfield, which we haven't been to yet, but looking at the photos in Kentucky, Stephanie, to me, it's like you guys have kept the integrity of the history of the town and the people, you know? That's why we can't wait to visit, you know, other than we've got to see you. That's most important. but that's part of it, right? If you didn't have that kind of downtown, you wouldn't have what you have now.
Historical preservation is very important. Kentucky is very active in it. Springfield has done a wonderful job of preserving the history downtown. And when you walk through, you can see how the great care that we take, as well as the museums that reflect the history here. And I can't wait to show it off to you when you get here.
We can't wait either. And Diva Linda, that's something we've talked about. I mean, pretty much every show that we, you know, every interview about the destination is like, does the place have a sense of place, right? Have that integrity.
That's correct. And I think also, I think it's going to become more and more important as there more and more tourism bureaus come online, because it is a good way to promote your community. I think they doing a little bit more about insider tours. We know that there's all the great and splashy stuff, but a lot of times people just want to know, what do you know that I don't know, or what can I see that maybe some other people can't see? What is there that, if I really dig deep, is even more special? It's interesting.
Exactly. And it's funny because some of the places where when a visitor goes in, what they see is oftentimes not what the tourism community expects them or thinks they're seeing, and they're walking away with a different impression altogether.
Yep.
And it comes from a divided community of who they are, what do you stand for, what are you presenting to the public, and how are you presenting it to the public. And it just takes a lot of working together. And so this is why the AQ is going to work for the series we're working on, because it has to start with, you have to know, and you actually have to decide who you are, and then you have to match who you say you are with what you do.
Totally true.
Yeah.
It's so true. My key of excellence this year is commitment. It's so interesting because, like, with what we're doing in our next part, it's like the next stage of this whole thing with parks and, you know, it's about protecting the small business at the end of the day, and protecting the places. If you don't have the land and the places and the history, you don't have tourism, and you definitely won't have the small business. The small business needs the tourism. And integrity for me is about exactly what Glenn was saying, was that passion. Because to find out where your integrity lies is knowing where your passion truly lies, and then living up to it. You know, just what you were all saying. Speaking with good purpose is important. When you talk to people who don't want to, really, honestly, that's, you have to be honest. But the reality to me is commitment. Once you've gotten it, like, you know, I'm like, okay, let's just say we're going to do 2018 people coming on board, you know, so that we can get that much going, so that so many more travelers know where to go and can connect directly with the resources they need. to me, it's like, because we're actually contacting people. We're not just putting stuff on our website. There's enough websites just throwing stuff up there. It's a commitment, because even when you want to give something to someone, you have to get them to understand that, and it's a commitment. It's called being on the phone and talking to 2018 people to make this happen. And that's, for me, it's that commitment and keeping your integrity and your passion there and not letting other side things stray you away. You've got to be a rhino and go. That's it. And this is a commitment we've had for so many years. It's been there since I was a kid, being in Africa and seeing the importance of wildlife conservation and what it did to communities, and how Kenya is still there because of conservation. Even though there's conservation issues, they're there. Sustainable tourism, seeing that from a ground up as a kid to now, I lived that commitment, So
what we've seen, and because we actually lived in the bush in a little muddy hut for a while, with different tribes, we've seen a tribe adopt tourism in a responsible manner, and therein be able to afford doctors to come out and help their kids. We've seen real changes take place in small communities that learn to work together, and that was the key of the whole thing, was learning to work together, so that for the good of everybody, not one person owns all, takes all, and the greed factor.
See, now we've just got into a big tourism conversation.
I know.
Okay, speaking of that, it's time for our next question. I'm sorry, I really like playing that. So, this year our travel genie Priscilla has also been a cook today, and I hope you all enjoyed your meals and your drinks. But she is, she's our travel mascot for this Big Blend Spirit of America tour, and she wants to give each of you and one guest, and the guest could be alive, passed on, it could be fictional, just you want to spend time with this individual. She is giving you a paid vacation to anywhere in the world that you've never been to. So we want to know, where are you going and who are you taking? Bobby, because you've traveled around all over the place. Like, where are you going?
I know, and what came to mind to me, because over the holidays I went to the Grand Canyon with my family, and I've flown over it so many times but never physically been there, and it was so inspiring. So what came up for me was, okay, let's travel to the rest of the 7 natural wonders of the world. So that's what came up.
Wow. Cool. I love that. And I love that you went to the Grand Canyon. I remember going on the North Rim and Nancy doing this crazy trail that I won't do because I'm not good at heights, but I stood at the edge. I sat on the bench and meditated, and it was the coolest experience ever. But it's so big, and it's so humbling, right? And humbling and inspiring at the same time. So who are you taking with you?
I'm going to be taking some Super Camp youth with me, because I want to see it through youth's eyes and just all the wonder and feel it and see it through them.
Oh, I like that. Kids out there, that's so important, and that's a huge initiative of getting kids in parks. Especially fourth graders, there's a whole program to get kids in parks for free, especially important now that they're raising the rates of getting into parks. Just saying. Diva Linda, where haven't you been?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been thinking about this for a while, and as it just happened, I've been thinking about world cruises for a while. And as it happens, I was invited to go on and see the launch of the Viking, and we know I love Viking Sun. And with that, I got to see what a world ocean cruise ship looks like, how they manage it, how they figure out what they do, and how they do what they do. So in 2019, Viking has a cruise that starts in Miami. It's out 128 days, and it lands in London. And it visits the most interesting places that I've not been. Some places that I have been, but on 128 days you get to go to an awful lot of places, and including South Africa, New Zealand, Chile, Brazil, French Guiana, and a bunch of other places. But that would be something that I would really like to see how I could manage that, either as a paid traveler or as a as a guest of Viking. We'll see, and I'll take my husband. He's become a great traveler. He's easy to travel with, and if he doesn't feel he can take 128 days, then maybe my daughter would come with me. So there you go.
And Alan's a captain, ahoy.
Alan's
maybe.
a captain.
Yeah.
He loves that. Yeah. So,
cool.
So that would be it, and we end up in Greenwich, England. So there you go. I'm ready to roll.
So you can go see Glenn. See, that's it. That's it. I like this.
I can end up with Glenn. Casablanca.
Yeah.
I mean, Dakar. So many places in 128 days. The challenge is to keep yourself active. There's quite a few sea days there, which I think would be okay. But these things sell out. And they sell out for a reason. They're tremendously expensive. I think they start at $50,000 a person. But that's the least.
Priscilla's paying.
Well, then we'll take.
Because her cooking is so good, she's racked up all this dough.
We've got 100,000, so that would be nice. And let's see, junior is sweet, 72,000. So there you go. So thank you, Priscilla. We like that.
Okay. So, Steve, Hollywood historian, where do you want to go in the world?
Well, I've never been to Kentucky, so I'd like to go to Springfield, Kentucky, taking you and Nancy, so we could enjoy a shot of Kentucky bourbon in Kentucky with Stephanie. And I'd also like to check out their community theater there.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. It's
wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, come on, Steve.
Okay.
Road trip.
Get in the car. We're going. Ask Diva Linda. Our road trips are a little scary.
They're wonderful. Wonderful.
You'll do fine. Just know we get lost a lot, and it's on purpose because we don't care about GPS stuff and everything. But we will take you in farmlands and vineyards and places we didn't know we were going to go. So let's go. Speaking of Kentucky and Stephanie, so where do you want to go this year?
I would love to go to Hong Kong and Macau.
Okay.
One of the places that is visually just crazy online, and I've read so much about it. It seems so exotic yet accessible. I hear English is spoken throughout, so that's one of my bucket list items.
And so who are you taking?
Well, have you all done an article there? Would you like to go with me?
Okay. We'll go. We haven't been. We'll go. Just we'll go anywhere. But it sounds cool to me. I'll bring my camera and, let's do it. Okay. Thanks, Stephanie.
Cool.
Priscilla's paying. She's racking up this bill of travel. It's getting good. I mean, Bobby's doing the 7 wonders. Thank goodness we're already going to Springfield. So thank you, Steve, on that. Diva Linda's doing the $50,000 world cruise. Priscilla, you go, girl. Glenn, what are you adding to Priscilla's bank account? Taking from it, I should say. Where are you going?
I was going to say that cruise is going to bankrupt her, I think.
Yeah.
So I think I'd probably better just stay here and feel sorry for her. But
no.
If her pocket has still got enough money in it, I think I would like to, because somewhere I've always wanted to go is Machu Picchu. I've seen so much about it on the television, and that is just somewhere that it just fills me full of intrigue. So I think up there, and I'd obviously have to take Diane, because if I didn't, I wouldn't dare ever come home again. So
and you'd never get a scone again in your life, like a good.
Well, exactly. So it just wouldn't be worth going if I had to come home and I hadn't took her with me. So.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Nancy, what about you?
I would like to have a tour of with world leaders that we could take on a tour of really important natural places, that they could open their minds and see the value in protecting them and the consequences of bad laws and regulations, and that they might be open-minded enough to start thinking of the natural world as the place that they live, so they should therefore protect.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
So,
and the person that would lead the tour would be David Attenborough.
I knew David Attenborough would be part of this. I knew it.
Absolutely.
I knew it. Well, I'm going on a trip with Bill Weir, who did the Wonderlist series on CNN, and it was about all these places, the wonders of the world, Bobby.
Yes.
He went to all these places like Machu Picchu, and I encourage people to look at this and why I want to travel with him. I'd like to backtrack, and I'd like to go to Botswana, definitely, because it's wildlife, and they're doing some really positive conservation things where trophy hunting of elephants is not good. They're not allowing it, and I know that they're doing a huge feature on trophy hunting, which I'm not for. But anyway, I would like to go with Bill Weir to Botswana because Botswana's got like the desert and it's got the marsh areas and the waterways, which are so crucial, and it's two such diverse elements, and I want to go with him because to me he's an incredibly good journalist in showing the issues, but also putting you in the place of where he is and getting you connected to the place, making you want to visit it, and making you want to be a good traveler, a responsible traveler. And I think he does a really good job, and he's very engaging, so I would like to go with him so I can steal his tricks. And
because you think he's hot.
No, not really. Kind of looks like an ex-boyfriend, but anyway. The guy's an ex, but he's to me he's very good at what he does, and
he is,
I want to learn more of how to do that. So that's what I want to do. Okay, so now it is time to play Spontaneous, everybody. It is get ready. It's Christmas season.
Whoopsie.
No, I played that because Spontaneous Rob Ridgway, over the Christmas season, made it to his goal of making it after 8 years of running Spontaneous the Song Game. It's so much fun. We play it on shows all the time. He made it to number one on Amazon as a bestseller this year. He's made it to all these different numbers as bestseller and award-winning, but he made it to his ultimate goal, and he's not stopping. He's got a lot more happening. And so I just wanted to play that because that's what happens in the holiday season. And a lot of people still, get into the board game thing now because it's winter and you go off in the mountains in a cabin. And it's a good way to unplug with your family. Unplug, I said that, so that you can really just spend time and enjoy life and have fun. He would have been here on the show today, Rob Ridgway. And everyone go to songgame.com to learn more about it. But he travels the country in his RV, and he had an RV emergency outside El Paso, which happens sometimes. His brakes froze, and that's a scary thing. But he called yesterday to say, I still have a road report, Rob's road report, and he just left Carlsbad Caverns National Park in New Mexico. Him and his girlfriend hiked down 7,000 feet and had lunch underground, 7,000 feet underground.
That's so cool.
And so he just wants everybody to know that they need to go there and have lunch 7,000 feet underground. And that's the place with all the bats.
Yeah.
It's like super cool. So, check it out. We've got links for it if you go to nationalparktraveling.com. So, anyway, Spontaneous, we're going to play the radio version of his game, and it is easy. It's really a word association with lyrics, and on this show, I'm going to give each of you a word, and within 10 seconds, we have a little clock here, and Priscilla's running it, so who knows. You need to sing or say the lyrics, including that word, and you have to go up to 5 words with it, okay? So, of a tune that contains that word. So does everybody understand the rules before we get started?
Yes.
Yes, and I played it over Christmas. I helped him get number one by buying it for all my family.
Right on. Go, Bobby.
Awesome.
Okay,
cool.
So you get to go to the 8th wonder of the world now, Priscilla.
Priscilla is the 8th wonder.
Awesome. That is awesome. Okay, so here it is. Bobby, because you are first, okay? So are you ready for your word?
Okay.
Your word is teach.
Teach?
Yes.
Teach. I don't. Nothing's coming for teach. I need my granddaughters with me. They're fast.
Teach the children well.
Okay.
And then I would be stuck.
What's the name of that song?
Teach your children well.
Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
Well, Rob would do better with this than me, but I suppose I'm mean with the words. I just wanted to give you something with education. So,
I know.
Okay. Diva Linda.
Yes.
You're going to love your word. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Your word is shoes.
Shoes. Shoes. Blue suede shoes. Get out of my blue suede shoes. Get into my blue suede shoes. Rock in your blue suede shoes. Do something with those damn things.
She got it. Yeah. You get off my blue suede shoes. You can do anything.
Oh, good. Yay.
But get off my blue suede shoes.
Diva Linda wins. If you say shoes, she wins. It's automatic.
Yay.
It's automatic. Right on. You rock. Okay, Senor Steve, the Hollywood historian, your word is movie.
Movies were movies when I ran the show.
Now, can you do that as Carol Channing?
Oh.
Movies were movies when I ran the show.
Fabulous.
I love it.
Absolutely
Actually,
fabulous.
that song's for Mac and Mabel.
You can't beat him with Carol, man. He's got it. He's got Carol going good. Good job. You're winning here. Stephanie, are you ready?
I'm ready. Oh, no.
Okay.
I'm scared.
No, you can do this. You can do this. Okay. I was just thinking of, Kentucky and bluegrass and horses. So your word is country.
Country? Oh, I'm a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yay. Good job.
Yay, you won.
Yay.
It's Donnie and Marie.
I know.
Yep.
That's really good. Okay, so Glenn, your word is Mr. Whippy. I'm just kidding. No, Glenn, your word is, because you're in England, tea.
Tea. Tea for two and two for tea. Me for you and you for me. There you go.
I like that.
Oh, very good. Very good. Right on. I'm getting impressed here. Okay, so Nancy, your word.
Oh, no.
Steve, you're going to like this, Steve.
You guys are so mean.
Your word is bird.
Birds, the words, the words, the words, birds, the words, birds,
Every Friday night we have our music night. Nancy makes me post YouTube videos of the birds, the word.
And if you haven't seen it and you need exercise, go watch it. It's the funniest thing ever, especially if you can get it on your television.
Yeah, right? There it is. Okay, so here it is. And that's the thing, too. Now that we're on YouTube with Big Blend Radio, you can listen to us through your TV or all those Google devices.
And you could watch our videos on your TV.
And we're on Amazon Alexa, too.
You just say, Alexa, go get those girls.
Go get those girls on Spreaker. Okay,
and
are you ready, everybody?
Lisa,
yes.
Your word is radio.
Digital killed the radio star.
There you go.
That's not a good show. Song choice for me.
What about Radio
Well done.
Yeah, Radio Gaga, the queen. Thank you so much, Glenn. Thank you. At least I made it. Bobby, we're going to have to get you on the next one. You know it's going to happen because January 14th, Rob Ridgway will be in San Diego in Stationery, and he'll be on the show with Matt Scott, the author of Find Something Awesome, book series for kids. It's like Napoleon Hill for kids. It's really cool. So looking forward to that show. So Spontaneous, you have a makeup time, right? So,
all righty,
that's
good.
We'll do the words, and he's better at it than I am.
And
but
we'll give him the word break.
Yeah, breaks. Breaks. Okay, so now it is time for our tradition, our family tradition. So Champagne Sundays is a family tradition of ours. For those who are new to our show, Nancy and I have been doing this for a long time, where we take this break on a Sunday and we toast to good things. It's about gratitude, happiness, looking at things through the positive instead of the negative, because there's enough negativity out there. So we look at fun stuff because why not? It's a Sunday. And when we started our shows 11 years ago, we said, well, we're going to do it on a Sunday. We're going to do it with our champagne, and that way it's going to be happy. And we've covered a lot of topics that aren't, but there's always good out there. So let's start with you, Bobby. What is your champagne toast?
I'm toasting just to a wonderful 2018 and just gratefulness because I'm so grateful I got to visit a natural wonder with my family, have a wonderful staff and partners and programs making a difference, and just starting off the year with gratitude.
Cool. Awesome. Everyone, again, supercamp.com, 8keys.org. Go to the number 8 for that to be part of that. And, of course, everyone who's on the show today is on blendradioandtv.com. Just go to the expert department. But, Glenn, what about you? Over in England, who will be back on our show January 21st for the World Radio Party, and go to his website, norfolk-tours.co.uk. What is your toast? Uh-oh, he's gone. Oops. I'll get him back. Wait. Okay. You got to start over, Glenn.
I'm still here again. Sorry, I had to go and come back again. I think my toast, since it's 2018, is to Prince Harry and Meghan, and I just wish them a very happy married life, and I hope no one interferes with them so they can just get on with their lives.
Right on. I toast to that, and I toast that to everybody. Leave everybody alone.
Yeah.
That's my speak with good purpose part of it. So, Senor Steve, what is your toast for 2018?
Well, I toast to my support system during the months of November and December, which include Nancy and you, my brother Ed, my sister-in-law Margot, my friends Bill and NJ, and also Craig and Diane. And I also toast everybody on today's show because what a way to start 2018
Right on. Well, we toast to you, and thank you for all your Hollywood history and fun times, you know. He does so much, and I want to thank you because you always share our shows and post on social media, so I want to thank you for that, too. And everyone,
pleasure.
Again, if you go to blendradioandtv.com and our expert department, you'll see Steve there. Thank you, Steve. Now, Diva Linda, what are you toasting to? Because she's, you know, food, wine, and shopping. Diva.
To continue learning, travel, and shopping opportunities with people of all ages and mindsets, either in person or through Big Blend Radio.
Awesome. Thank you. And everyone, all in goodtaste.info because Diva's got good taste.
That's right.
And Diva's going to be staying on the show with us to talk about Madrid, so stay tuned for that. Stephanie over in Bourbon Country of Kentucky, she'll also be on the show with us continuing forth from now. And you can go to her website, visit springfieldky.com, because we're all taking a big road trip there. And by the way, Steve, we're going on the Natchez Trace, okay? So I hope you don't mind. We're going to Louisiana first to get up there.
Okay.
It's a bucket list thing. But Stephanie, what are you toasting to?
I'd like to make a toast to all my old friends and my new friends and all the new bourbons that are coming out in 2018.
I love it. Very good. Well, we'll find out about that soon. I like that, toasting to old friends and new friends. I think that's cool.
That's cool.
That is cool. I like that. Nancy, what are you toasting to?
I would like to toast everybody that gets out and travels, go somewhere new, learn something new, be inspired by something new, try something new, just do something new. Especially if you get down in the dumps, go travel. Go have some fun. Get out there. So I toast you. Don't be scared. Take a risk. Get out there. Learn something. Be inspired.
I'm toasting to 1 hour walks. Hashtag 1 hour walks. Or just go to onehourwalks.com with a number or not. This is a project. It's about taking a 1 hour walk. Even if you take one 1 hour walk a week, it's about getting outside, or inside. Some people are doing it in Lowe's on our Facebook group because it's cold or snowing out. It's about moving your body, seeing things, looking at things in a different way. Sunrises, my particular thing. But really, and all the people on the Facebook group that have been posting almost on a daily basis of different places, it's been so cool to look at all the, like Linda's posted things from different places in the world that she's traveling. We've had France, Africa, England. Glenn's put England in there. We have a lot in California. We have D.C. I mean, it's just amazing to see these places and through the eyes of people getting out there, getting a breath of air, maybe going with their family or their kids or on a solo thing. It feels good. And during my Speak with Good Purpose time frame that I needed to speak with good purpose, taking that little walk, even if it's 30 minutes, helps to speak with good purpose.
Yeah, we could do just a real quick extra toast to every company that does what they say they were going to do. It's called customer service. And so if you're not really doing what you're saying, take it off your website, take it out of your ads, stop it.
Yeah.
Speak with good purpose. Put it in what you're going to do. And when you say you're going to do it, you do it.
That's right.
There. So I toast the companies who have good customer service.
Yes, and have integrity.
And I'm being nice by not naming the ones who don't.
I know. So thank you very much. But thank you all for joining us for our Champagne Sundays brunch party. We appreciate each of you and listeners, too. We're going to continue the show with Linda and Stephanie talking about Kentucky and Madrid because they're neighbors, right? No, I'm kidding. But we're going to be doing that. But thank you, Bobby, Glenn, and Steve, for joining us. And we're going to play some music. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Happy New Year. All right, everybody, here is a song. It's called Universal Love. I think with what we're talking about in travel and all those good places that we've been talking about, and positive and integrity and unity, this song is a Universal Love, and it is from Root Rock and Universal Love album by Kwame Benet, The Shakedown, over in Harlem, New York, and we feature them in our magazines all the time and play their music, and this is with Vernon Reed, so keep up with them at KwameBenetShakedown.com, and if you can, go to they're going to be performing with Bob Marley, the Wailers, the kids, so watch out for that. Here it is. Stay tuned.
Beyond political within your political boundaries. Yes, within your religious boundaries. Universal love.
Again, that was Kwame Bene's Shakedown over in Harlem, New York, and they do travel around the country and around the world, go to Europe, and Universal Love, he recorded that with Vernon Reid, and go on his website, KwameBeneShakedown.com, and keep up with him on Twitter, and it is all about, being nice, being kind. All right, so now it's time to find out what shoes Diva Linda wore on her trip through Madrid. So stay tuned. And, no, she had a good time. I mean, she had some good food and all kinds of good stuff. So stay tuned. So travel writer Linda Kissam, the food, wine, and shopping diva, visited Madrid, Spain, and enjoyed 4 fabulous days of local cuisine, from churros and paella to sangria and hot chocolate, to history and culture, and I mean ancient stuff, like really deep, rich history, and shopping. One of her most important things is shopping. And Linda's a regular Big Blend Radio and TV magazine contributor, as well as in our Parks and Travel magazine. You can see her articles. The best thing to do is just go to blendradioandtv.com and click on the expert department and click on Diva Linda. But don't, be soft with that, because she's a diva and she's got high heel shoes. But she's also the president of the International Food, Wine, and Travel Writers Association, and you can keep up with all her travels. Go to her website. It's allingoodtaste.info. And also we have Stephanie McMillan here. She is the executive director of Springfield Tourism Commission in Central Kentucky. She's sitting in for the conversation because all of this is part of our 11th anniversary of Big Blend Radio and our Champagne Sunday show. So welcome back, Diva Linda. It's been a long time.
Oh, thank you. It's wonderful. I'm really happy to get to talk about Madrid today.
Looking at the photos, I have to tell you, I'm pretty jealous. And Stephanie, have you been to Madrid?
No, it's on the bucket list too.
Yeah, everyone, you can go to blendradioandtv.com, just type in Madrid, and you'll see Linda's article and some of the photos in a slideshow. But it seems like such a quality way of life. It's just kind of that vibe that I got, that people enjoy spending time when they eat and go out to eat or drink together or take a walk. It just seems like it's about quality of life, in relationships with people, where you spend time and not just slurp your coffee down and run.
Yeah, I think if you try to slurp your coffee down and run, they look at you like you're crazy. You're given time to relax and enjoy whatever the activity it is that you've come to see. And you see people walking on the streets all the time. Nothing opens until about 10 a.m. and, closes very late in the evening. So a little bit of a switch for me, because I was coming off boat life where you've got to get up early off the boat and see what you're going to see or do what you're going to do. And then, of course, before that, boat life in Washington, which is the same thing. You've got to, pull out early and get to your destination and move on. So interesting to try to adjust yourself from boat life to urban life, because Madrid is unlike anything I've done in Spain before. You remember when I went on that 100 Cavas in 100 Days tour? And,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, and that was seeing a lot of beautiful vintages and vineyards and countryside and port stuff. And this was urban. This was I didn't see any signs of boats or anything else, which is nice because I've seen enough boats for now. And it's just and we chose to. There were two hotels that we were looking at. One is a very modern, unique Marriott, I think, boutique and hotel, which is very nice, very new. And the other one is more of a local chain that is quite old. The building is quite old, and so you have a little tiny elevator, one that sort of snaps shut on you, and sort of rattles its way up and down and stuff. So we chose and they're right across the street from each other. But we chose to sort of put ourselves right in the smack dab middle of the city, so that we could walk or take transportation and not have to drive.
Mm. And you talk about in your article about the hop-on, hop-off buses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we like that.
So earlier in the show, we were talking about stealing your question about what does success look like for you in the future, and so our Big Blend Party Bus is going to make some changes. Party Bus is becoming a hop-on, hop-off bus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so at our radio parties. And Stephanie, don't you think that's a cool idea? It's a hop-on, hop-off. That's what we're going to. Our little bus is going to make some changes, and it's because it's like you can go anywhere. I mean, it's really kind of neat because you could. Do they circle around like the city, and then you could just pick it up anywhere you want?
Right.
Cool.
So they generally, depending on what city, although it's a big franchise, so I'm sure they get directions on how to do this. There's generally 2 routes, and your ticket lets you get on 2 different buses taking 2 different routes. So you could literally spend the whole day from 10 a.m. to 7 or 8 p.m. Doing these tours, and it's really smart. So they just give you a map, a set of headphones to listen to, and when you come to a destination you think is interesting, you just hop off the bus. Then you mess around for however long you want, and then you pick up the bus either back there or you look at the route and you pick it up somewhere else. It's really easy, generally not real crowded. I've even been on these things, of course, in the height of summer, and they run enough buses so that you're not standing. You're able to sit, and you can sit up on top, or you can sit, which is an open top, or you can sit in the bottom, out of the sun and so forth. And the headsets are pretty good. You can hear most everything, and I think they have like 39 languages, so whatever it is you're speaking, it'll be there for you as well. So it's real. It's well organized, and what I like about it is they don't always take the urban route. They often go into neighborhoods. I don't know how they get permission to do that, but you get to see local architecture, and you get to see often, where some of the stops you're not going to make, like parks or other interesting activities that it's not a stop, but you can see it. And I like seeing people's houses and all that sort of stuff, other centers that you're not going to stop at, but you can see, and maybe you can make your way there later. So I think all in all, I think worldwide it's about $30 or less for a whole day of being able to explore a city in a very safe and organized way.
I like that. I like that.
English is how easy can you get around? I mean, if you don't speak Spanish, how easy can you get around?
Honestly, all my travels, almost everywhere now speaks English. And in Madrid, they are very English-oriented. So there's never a problem. I never felt that I wasn't able to speak to anybody at any time. They have a lot of English-speaking tourists, so not a problem whatsoever. Very easy to get around. My biggest number one tip, however, lately, and specifically there, if you're going to walk, take your handheld, your PDA, your smartphone, whatever you have, and use your GPS. We found that just saying, oh, let's go to the chocolate spot and then let's go to the paella place. Well, they could be right next to each other, but if you don't see it on a map plotted, you wouldn't understand that. So you should figure out all the things you want to see, plot where they are, and then sort of make your plan from there. But it's very easy now with this GPS, walkable GPS.
I get your drift, Diva Linda. I get your drift on this. You know how good I am about watching GPS and, following those directions.
Well, you can choose to ignore it, as we know you sometimes do, but, it's okay. They have that recalculate thing. I mean, we certainly have done that because in many cities, they don't actually have signs on the alleyways or signs on the small streets. So, we've done our share of going down the wrong alleyway or, said that can't possibly be the street, and there it was. So recalculate is a wonderful feature on any GPS function.
Well, you know what I think is really important about it is, like, you have a limited amount of time, and there's times when that I do my get lost thing, and it is really more an adventure exploring thing, or sometimes it's just if you're out in the middle of the boonies, it's different. But a city, they know, GPS knows everything and Google knows everything, and but you want to make the most of your trip, and I think that's important. It seems though this is. I'm into the food thing of Madrid. I had no idea that candy, like violet-infused candy, was such a big deal, and they look so pretty. It's like you're eating art. Like, did you eat it, or did you get scared to eat it?
No, but they give you samples when you're there, and so then you begin to see that just like they're the most fantastic thing to have at tea. With your tea, they're just delicate, and it would be great for Mother's Day, anything. So I bought. This year, my Christmas presents to my closest family and friends was a global Christmas box, and that was one of the things I put in there were these violet candies, and they're just little tiny boxes of these gorgeous little violet flavored candies, and I don't know, you just feel so feminine when you eat them. But it's really, it's a very busy shop. It's very small. They only let 3 people in at a time. And, it's no violets for you if you ignore that rule.
Candy Nazi.
I know, the violet Nazi.
Yeah, so you have to be really careful to follow the rules. And there's a reason. You get in there and, you turn the wrong way, especially with a large person, the display has gone down. So.
Okay. Yeah. So, but they're doing quality over quantity. But I think it's very interesting that they're using violet. I never even thought of I know we can eat violas and things like that, and people put them in their salads, and I think it's really cool. It looks pretty, and I've had flower petals and stuff, but I always feel like, I'm eating a flower. But anyway,
I know. But they're really tasty.
But do you think they would go
really
with champagne? I'm trying to get the flavor a little bit.
Yes. Tea, champagne, something lighter, Prosecco perhaps, some of your lighter umbrella drinks, anything that would be like, their hot chocolate or even probably sangria would be a bit too much for it. It has to be sort of light and airy and bubbly, and it's just I don't know, I just can't explain how fun it is to sort of pour these in your hand, like when you poured little dot candies in your hands. And they just cover your hand, and they just make you look like you're in a field of flowers.
Oh, wow. I want that. And you found tea there, too.
It's so interesting. I mean, it's so different.
Yeah, I love to find things like this. And I know that you're a big tea person, and gold rim for Diva Linda. That's how it's got to work. But tea is a big deal, and you found tea there.
Yeah, so they have various types of tea shops. I went into probably 3. 2 were mistakes, and one was a great find, and the great find was called Teako, Tekoe, and it would look like pretty much any boutique type of tea shop you would find anywhere in the world, including the U.S., and there were tea tastings, but they had very different kinds of teas, and there's sustainable attitudes, and just a really great place to sit and, just sort of recollect yourself, because you are walking in these cities. You really aren't You could take Uber, you could take cabs, but it's either buses or walking, and walking really is a great thing to do in Madrid. So this is a great place to sort of stop and refuel and talk about why they're using the teas they use and that sort of thing.
Cool. Now, I wanted to ask you, Stephanie, I know what you're putting in your tea in Kentucky.
No.
I know about that. I know about that
too.
It's
B and T.
the B and T, the bourbon and tea. In winter, I know it's cold over there right now, so I know what she's doing. But, Devalinda, did I tell you about coffee leaf tea? I didn't know if you've had it before, because
I don't think I had that. No.
Check it out in this issue. Yeah, it's in this issue of Big Blend Radio and TV Magazine, the January-February 2018.
Okay.
Wise Monkey Coffee Leaf Tea. It's harvested in Nicaragua, and so it's so that the farmers have year-round work. It's environmentally friendly. They plant coffee every time they do anything. They are adding to the rainforest as they do it too. It's really
wonderful.
cool. It's a really cool thing, and I just wondered, because I know you're into teas and stuff, if you've tried it, because apparently
different.
It's very ancient Ethiopian, and as soon as I tasted it, it reminded me of Kenya from how the tea was made over there. It's some of the different tribes. There's this creaminess to it, and I just wondered if you've had it. I'll send you some.
I have not, but I will order it. Yeah, that sounds like, great. I had cocaine tea, yeah.
Yeah, and apparently it's like green tea, but it doesn't give you as much of, it's that level of caffeine. So, I was just curious. Yeah, I know, it's really cool. So because of that, but okay, so you have candy, then chocolate. What's this? Chocolateria. Ooh.
So there's a very famous old chocolate shop, and I certainly cannot pronounce it, but I think it's Gina's. And it's been around since 1894, and I don't know that it's changed that much from when it opened its doors, but it's beautiful marble counters, and there's usually a line out the door of people wanting to get in, and it's a great. But they make their big thing is churros and hot chocolate, and the churros are not the Mexican ones that we enjoy. In California or the Southwest, they're a little bit lighter and fluffier, I think, and they come really long and skinny. They're just lovely, and you dip them in this hot chocolate. So, but it's not like a hot chocolate we have here in the U.S. It's a really creamy, really dense, creamy. So if you were able to do more than 2 cups of this, I would salute you. I mean, 1 cup pretty much puts you under the table, but you would take 1 churro, and long skinny churro, and you would dip it in your hot chocolate, and that's quite a treat. It's very, very popular, and I can see why, but it is not like the hot chocolate we have here. It's more of almost a dessert in itself, but and then they make their own chocolates, and there's pastries, and there's you name it, and they're very used to tourists, and if you can't pronounce what it is you want, they figure it out by the first couple of vowels you get out. So really, really nice, and you get to sit with the locals, I think, which is always nice too, and lots of teenagers in there after school, and so I think that's just a great pick me up. I highly, highly recommend that. It's in a alleyway that you have to know where you're going to find, but you could ask anybody and they would just point you in the right direction.
Wow, I want some now. Like
it sounds really
I
good.
know. It's like a Spanish fondue in a way, because you're dipping churros and
probably
yeah. I want to try that. I think there's
bourbon in there. Yeah,
I was going to say, Stephanie, I'm like,
good.
I think you need to go to Madrid just to connect them with bourbon and put it in there.
I do. They need me there.
It's a whole new tourism marketing thing for Stephanie. It's like, excuse me, can you pay for my trip so I can go take our bourbon over there?
There you go.
I like that. But the food is interesting because I know we know how you love Mexican food, tacos and salsa.
Yes.
And the salsa there's a thing.
Yes.
You and I have that, like,
yes.
Man, if you do, yeah. So you're looking for tacos in Madrid, and I would think you'd have tacos there like normal, or no?
No, that's not. what they offer. Seafood is big and other things, but really tacos are not. And that was my thinking. I was thinking, boy, this is going to be great. I'm going to have all the tacos on, but I had to really search. And then if I found a taco place, I didn't want it to be too expensive because I'm not sure that would be local dining. So I just happened to come across an ad for these. It's called Tacos, Takos El Pastor, and they warn you that if you're going to come to this, that you're going to probably have to stand in line. But it's so cheap. So and once again, this is not in the main part of the city, but it's not so far away that it was about 30 minutes from the hotel. With GPS, you can get there. And sure enough, there was a little bit of a line. We came really early hoping to avoid the crowd, and I'm glad we did because by the time we were through, there was line out the door and around the corner. And basically, you just go up, and they have a menu attached to the counter, just to the counter. And so then you point at the things you want, and then you take a table. You're not allowed to take a table until you have ordered. We tried that, and we got chewed out. So anyway. We
table Nazis. Here we go.
Yeah. So it's beer, soda, and tacos, or a couple other things. And we tried their tamales, but I would not necessarily recommend those. But the tacos were they're street tacos, so soft, flour shelled, and the meats are just done to perfection. And it was a great experience. A lot of times you spend an awful lot of money because you don't know where you're going, and so you just sort of go to the tourist place. So I really try to get out and about and see what everybody else is doing. Lots of different nationalities there, a lot of students in there. I mean, it's a very small place, so but it's just packed, businessmen and so forth, and it was a great experience. Highly recommend that.
Wow, who would think, And paella, because that's the thing. And
I thought it came from Spain.
Yeah, but Madrid's going to be different. And you said that you actually had to really search for paella, just like paella. I don't know if I'm pronouncing either one right here, but yeah, I mean, you had to search for that to find it, just like the tacos.
I did, because I thought Spain was paella, because the last two places that I went to, it was everywhere, and I just wasn't thinking. This is not a port town. They're not so enamored of seafood paella and so forth. So there are paella shops for those of us who think paella is everywhere in Madrid, but you have to be really careful because it's not necessarily the good stuff. And the local, funny saying is that if you go to the wrong place, you'll be eating microwave paella. So, just be careful. But we found one called La Barraca, another one off on a teeny side road. They were having construction, so didn't seem to bother anybody because the place was full. But you have to have a reservation. But you sort of had to jump over holes and around beams and steel bars and stuff. But, and somehow they'd taken down the sign, so we would begin just to open doors where it said, "You are here." One place was a dress shop, so that wasn't smart. And the other place was somebody's apartment, so that wasn't
I think
too
you
smart.
need new shoes for this. I'm buying shoes. Yeah, well, I had my, my London Flies on, so, they're pretty durable. But so it's you get in there, and that's another experience where they don't want you out in 15 minutes. They're not turning tables. They want you to be there for quite a while. I would think that an hour would seem to them to be rushed. So everything has its time and pace, and you're not going to get one thing and then they pick up the plate and give you another. That's not how it works at all. So they're very careful to let you digest between entrees, and some of the best paella I've ever had. Really, really good. Lots of great side dishes and olives and all the wonderful sangria and other sorts of things that I love. And I would say it was mid-priced. They said it was going to be high-priced, but I would just say for American taste it was mid-priced. And for my taste, I think they were using really high-end ingredients. They say they are, but, proof is in the pudding, as they say, and I just thought that was really, really good. The proof is in the paella.
Well,
there is
a difference, between what we do in this country and what other countries do, and one of them being the level of the in and out. How fast can we move you through the restaurant? And so when you the first time you go to a different country and you're waiting for your meal, and you've got your drink or coffee or tea or whatever, and they figured that's you for 20 minutes. And
that's right.
We're, as Americans, are like, well, come on, where's the food?
Yeah, why don't we have it already?
What? And they're like,
what?
Yeah,
and I think when you many of us as tourists are on timelines, and I don't think that that's a good idea in some of these foodie cities, because they really almost get offended when you say, I'm ready for my check. Why now? What,
what we do wrong?
What would be wrong? And if you don't eat everything, with the restaurant manager comes over and said, did we do something wrong? Was there something more we could have done for you? So for a light eater like myself, that's rather embarrassing, because I usually send half my food back. But, on the other hand,
that's why they should let dogs in restaurants, so they could go to the table and you could say, here.
I think that might be a good idea. Yeah, I think that might be a good idea.
It's a whole new thing. Well, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
I was going to say the food thing is so interesting, because one of the things that tripped me out about your article was the Jamon Museum and ham.
Jamon. I think it's jamon.
Jamon? Okay.
No, jamon.
Oh, okay, yeah, because Spain it's Castilian, different than Mexican. When you start speaking Spanish, and so. But this is really it's jamming, man. You've got a museum, but it's like a butchery and also like a market, but it's a museum. Like, am I getting this right?
That's so weird.
You are absolutely getting right, and this is one of if you Google and you say what are the 10 most unique places to visit, not touristy places, but other types of unique places. This often comes up, and it's exactly what you said. It's huge. It's on a corner, and it's locals and tourists love it a lot. You're going to be there for a while. They've got, I don't know how they can even do this, but they have hundreds of ham things, bodies of hams running around all over the decorations and hanging, and people buy them, and then there's a tasting bar, and then you go upstairs and have lunch, or you can just sit at the counter and have lunch, and then they have all of the accoutrements that can go with it, knives, plates, mustards, all of that. It's just, ham is a very important product, Iberian ham especially in Spain. And
so did they do like things like here's Porky Pig and here's the Three Little Pigs, like historical stuff about pigs? Just Food Pig.
It's just about the food. It's a foodie place, and it has. When you go there, you're going to. They call it a museum. I don't want you to think of it as a museum, and I don't exactly not sure why they think it's a museum, because you would never
the main
never in
ham
100
attraction.
years.
But you get
it's a main ham
there.
attraction, and you're eating and you're drinking, and you're not really looking at pictures of ham.
So
you are not.
And you can
just,
have wine while you do this. There's wine.
You can have lots of wine, and
yay.
And it's just nice to see other people other than tourists in there, and it's fun to see them get these big hunks of ham off the ceiling and stuff. And it's just it's just interesting, and it tastes really really good.
That's so weird.
Well, I think, Stephanie, that again, you need to have a paid trip over, because I think the bourbon and the ham go. So Stephanie,
bourbon glazed ham is really good.
Yeah, bourbon glazed ham.
Oh yeah.
Oh
so,
Lord.
Kentucky
so good.
needs to meet Madrid.
There you go.
Yeah.
I
concur.
I know.
I concur.
There's always a connection, no matter what, So I like this, and hey, so I just find that really fascinating. I love places that have something completely
really
unique,
different.
And okay, so the other part, so 1 hour walks did happen out there, like that was also part of the life, right? That people got out and went and walked in their area.
And they stroll. Yeah, lots of families do a lot of strolling, especially on Sundays. Sunday's a big stroll day with the family, and you want to go into these big plazas, these big foodie plazas. There's one about 10 minutes, maybe 5 to 7 minutes up the road from the hotel we stayed in. Large plaza, but not overwhelmingly large. And I think they did it really smartly. Think of a square, and around the square are the restaurants. And then within the square is seating, outside seating. So you could sit inside if you wanted to, but the majority of the seating is outside. And so the waiters come to you, and the trick is trying to put yourself in the right seating area, because if you think you were going to Johnny's, but you were sitting in Marty's section, you're not getting what you thought. So everybody else seemed to know what they were doing. We made a mistake on the first night and then figured it out after that. But the weather is so good in Madrid, way through fall. Way through fall. So some of their best tourist time is in the fall, late fall actually, because everybody else is turning cold and they're still 75 degrees and holding. So the nights get a little cooler, but not much. And so if you love the experience of al fresco dining and tasting things that you know about, but are authentic to where you are, this is what you do. You go into these plazas and maybe every you could do lunch or dinner there, and you could figure out Johnny's one night and Ramon's the next. Very, just very interesting to instead of getting bread on the table, the big thing is olives. So you're going to have every type of olive that you've ever been wanting. And gosh, you take that with sangria, and it's just like yeah.
Yes,
I mean, for me,
I'm there. I love sangria,
and
then the other thing too is, when you think about this outdoors and you're just, to me, again, it's quality of life. It seems to be, places that you walk, and it's like a big outdoor food court, but different, but historic buildings. I was looking at your photos of just this architecture, and it's just so beautiful. Did you see anybody playing live music in any of the places in the downtown area, the historic area?
Not as much as I thought I would, and I didn't know if it was a time of year or we were there midweek. We weren't there. I think we arrived on a Sunday, but we got there late, so we just saw the last part of it, and I think there was in the plaza later in the evening. But during the week, not so much, which was too bad. But you also have to remember, in these plazas, these food court plazas, there's so many different eateries. They would all have to agree on one. This gets to be tourism 101. They all are going to have to agree about who's going to pay for the, the entertainment. Who is it going to be? Flamenco? Is it going to be jazz? Is it going to be pop? Who are we looking for at that particular time? That would be my thought, but I could be wrong.
Well, and then are they going to be in front of my booth and then kind of block my way, or attract more customers, or are they going to be too loud?
I want to go, and they have
No, it becomes like a duel.
I love that.
People,
it does. They have buskers, outdoor performers to me.
It's
so cool.
That goes to the original setup too.
And
how
I didn't
to make
see
it.
a lot of street performers
happy.
at all. I did not nowhere, which I thought was very odd. But maybe that's summertime, and maybe when you go in the fall, you don't see that. But who knows? I don't know. I was a little disappointed in that. But, of course, they have lots and lots and lots of nightclubs. It's a big deal there. I didn't go in to any of them this time, but they're plentiful, and flamenco is everywhere. And, you could certainly, if you want to be entertained, there should be no problem.
Oh, one place, too, that I really want to go is the National Archaeological Museum of Spain, the Museo Arqueológico Nacional. I don't know, just trying. But the pictures and the exhibits, there's a skeleton in there, and that mask with the cowrie shells, because that to me just goes back to those ancient times of cowrie shells being used as money and part of slave trade. And when you think about Spain's history, and we've covered so much of Spain's history lately in different interviews and things, just the history of Spain and how they went out into the New World and England wanted to conquer everything. And part of our American history is so big with Spain. It's so, when you were in Madrid and everything you did in Washington State and Whidbey Island and, when you went to American Camp and those places where Spain owned it for a while. And, it's like Spain and then England came in, here are the two countries that just want to take over everything. Was it interesting going into this ancient museum with this ancient history and these were the people, man, who were doing this.
I know, it's very odd to see. Well, and as you wander around, you begin to understand. Well, first you're in, one set of people were there, and then, you go 20 feet, and here's the other people that conquered here, and then here's other places they conquered. And, it's this mishmash of, who's on first base. It's very, it was unsettling in some regards to think, why can't these people just be left to be who they are? Now I realize that that's just a transitional issue, but when I had heard of that there was the dramatic mask that I was able to get a picture of, somebody had said, don't make sure that you see the coin mask. And so I was looking for a mask with coins. I was looking everywhere. Where's this damn coin mask? I don't see any mask with coins on it until I finally asked one of the docents, well, where's the coin mask? Oh, you mean the shell mask? No, I mean the coin mask. No, the shells are coins. That's something that then I thought, how stupid. How, of course, we haven't always had coins. We've had other things, but yeah, I think that was probably one of the best museums for that sort of focus that I've seen in a very long time. It's large, it's clean, it's well staffed. I mean, you couldn't go more than 10 feet without somebody, docent, ready to answer any question that you have. Beautiful. They let you get very close to things, and they've made big monuments of things, and it's just burial sites and all sorts of stuff. It's really the fragile things are behind glass, of course, like the skeletons and so forth. But a lot of stuff is just right out there in the open. Really something to see.
It's really interesting with cowries. And when we were in Kenya, and I got to go snorkeling, and you would see live cowries.
Oh, really?
The ocean floor. Oh, yeah. And they're absolutely really.
Well, they come in all sizes.
Oh, they come in all colors. Like some are spotted like leopards, and they're amazing little shell creatures. When you see them as a shell, you don't really think of them as a live creature.
Well, it's a cowrie shell, and crabs and things. All different crabs live in the different shells. It's odd. Like
it's more like a snail.
It's alien.
It's more like a snail-like creature in these in these little shells. And then when they wash up on the beach, they get bleached. And the ones that were worth more were the ones where they went out and got the cowrie shells.
Oh,
and so there's a value difference, and so that's how it became money.
Huge value, and that was the main source of slave trade, and Spain was huge into slave trade. Look at Christopher Columbus. But anyway, just saying. But it was.
Oops.
I don't look at America. Look at every country it's done this, But cowries, I learned about it from making jewelry. When in South Africa, I used to make jewelry and do beads and tell stories with it, and got into all these different cultures that I actually, that's all I would, I could write a book on it because it's so fascinating to me how language was through color and utensils, or whatever you're using in the jewelry, masks being part of that too. And, you see armor and how the different things that will be on a piece of armor will also go with the same. It's a story and a currency at times. So it's fascinating. I want to go there, man. I really want to go to Madrid. It looks so awesome. So okay, I will not let you go off the show without bragging about your shopping.
Cool.
Well, the shopping, of course, is very urban, and it's so you have to be very careful when you shop in Madrid that you don't get stuck at the Coach store, the Max stores, and all the high-end stores. There's beautiful strolling shopping centers, outdoor shopping centers. I didn't bother to go into any interior ones like a mall or anything. I just I strolled on the really beautiful, they're just big, wide boulevards, and they're near the museums. And, whatever it is that you're interested in, shoes, shopping, of any type, are there. And it's, I think I was into shoes in that particular trip. But I went into the Coach store and I thought, I'll probably never see these particular items in the U.S. There was a couple of leatherwork items that I thought were just outstanding. However, I was in Macy's the other day and there they were, so maybe not so much. But then you have to really search, and you really have to do your research to get into the small alleyways and the areas where there's local crafts and so forth, and local foods and local teas and all that sort of stuff. And so I bought several things there, and that I hope sort of represent the time I was there, which includes the violets, and all that, and the special chocolates and all that kind of thing. But, wherever you go, you certainly can shop. And let me tell you, you can certainly open your wallet in Madrid. It's quite an experience.
Wow. Uh-oh, Stephanie. Yeah. You better get an extra budget. I'm just saying.
Bring an extra
I know.
suitcase.
I'm going to have to pick up a babysitting job.
Listen, all you do with the kids is give them a little bourbon on their lips and they'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
That's why I'm not a parent.
I think, Linda, would you ever consider doing The Amazing Race? Have you watched that show?
The Amazing Race. Oh, I should do that, shouldn't I? Wouldn't that be fun?
I think you would win.
You'd be just like, get away! I've got my shoes, and she'll just get people out with her shoes. I see it
because you have the experience and you know how to think things through.
Exactly.
I think that you and Ellen should sign up for The Amazing Race.
Let me tell you, it's called Virgo Qualities.
Well, don't you think they would be great on The Amazing Race?
I think so,
because
he can navigate.
Yeah.
I want to record it. I want to record it. I want to film every second of it.
Yeah.
Everyone, again, the article is up on blendradioandtv.com. You can see it now and see some of the photos up there now. Just type in Linda Kissam or type in Madrid. You'll find it on the website, but it'll be featured in the March-April issue of Big Blend Radio and TV magazine. Speaking of that, Linda's photo from Prague is up on the front cover of the January-February issue of Big Blend Radio and TV magazine. It's one of my favorite covers.
We love that.
With musicians playing on, that's why I had to bring it up because I love that cover. That photo is like one of my favorites, and we featured a couple of your photos on covers. And
that one came out clear. You remember my days of fuzzy pictures.
No, it was really cool, and it just has that life of makes you want to go to Europe.
It does. It makes you want to go.
It's all part of her shopping story, going on a Viking River cruise because she's a diva.
Yes.
She had this beautiful shopping experience. So go check that article out. Just type in "cruising for a deal," and it's cool stuff. And going from Prague to Berlin, I mean, just an amazing story. But thank you so much for joining us on our special 11th anniversary show. It's such a pleasure having you on the show all these years, and can't wait for the next time.
Oh, congratulations to you and Nancy and your support group back there. So thank you very much for having me as part of this day. It was really special for me. Thank you.
Thank you. And everyone, all in goodtaste.info because the diva knows taste, right? But Diva Linda, we're going to close with a song called The Travel Song, which was written and performed by your son-in-law, Misha Shellhoff, an incredible guitarist.
I like this song.
It's one of my favorites on his album, Double Take. Everyone's got to go check it out. We've also see him on Misha Music. Just type that in on our website, too, but go to mishamusic.com. Incredible album with incredible performers, too. He's just such a talent, and so we'll play this because this is your song for continued journeys through 2018.
And The Amazing Race.
That's right. All right. Thanks
and
so
The
much.
Amazing Race. I'll look into that.
I like that.
Ooh, do it.
Do it.
Well,
all right. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Here it is, everyone. Stephanie, stay on the line. We're going to talk about Kentucky in a little second, but here it is. Travel songs. Take care. and that was Misha Shellhaus, and that's from his album Double Take. The song is called Travel Song. It's one of my favorites on the album. We love playing his music. Go to MishaMusic.com. His album's on Amazon, all those places. Also, we feature him on Blend Radio and TV.com. And now it's time to talk about bourbon, horses, history, theater, bluegrass, good times. Springfield, Kentucky is where it's at, so stay tuned. And it's time to chat with Miss Stephanie just all about her hometown. So right in the middle of Kentucky, the bluegrass state, is Springfield. It's a historic destination. It's known, well, the whole region, central Kentucky, is known as the land of bourbon, horses, and history. Well, what could go wrong with that? Nothing. It's cool. Historic downtown, Abraham Lincoln history, bourbon, barn quilts, you name it. And we have Stephanie McMillan, the Executive Director of Springfield Tourism Commission, here on Big Blend Radios. It's our 11th anniversary show, and she's been sitting in on the entire thing. She rocks. She's going to talk about spring in Springfield. Say that after a few glasses of champagne. But go to visit SpringfieldKY.com. So can you say spring in Springfield 10 times and have champagne or bourbon, Stephanie?
I might need champagne or bourbon to say it 10 times.
How are you doing sitting with us for this? This isn't your first marathon with us, doing a show, an entire show like this, and yeah, this has been fun, and we're looking forward to getting to Springfield in spring. I think it's going to be May, like late spring. What's it like? When does it? You said it was really cold right now, so. Do you have snow?
A little cold snap, which we always do. I believe the whole eastern side of the U.S. is having an unusually cold winter right now. But normally we have very temperate winters. So I know it's not going to last long. I'm so looking forward to putting my Uggs back in the closet.
Okay. Well, by the way, you're going in and out a little bit on your sound there, just so you know. But so spring, it's 4 seasons in Kentucky. Like here in the desert, we have 5 because we have 2 summers because we're special that way.
5 or 2.
Or 5, 6, yeah. But no, we have 5. We have 5, but we have 2 summers. Yeah, it's hot. But where you are in the center of it all, like what's it like? I know in the historic downtown, I've even watched your webcam. I go like, oh, that's cool to see what the downtown, because it looks so quaint and historic. What's it like outside? Do you really have like rolling hills of bluegrass?
We do. Central Kentucky has gently rolling hills, and we are just so different from the eastern side, which contains the Appalachians, and then the western side of Kentucky is fairly flat, and it goes all the way to the Mississippi River. So central portion is where you see those iconic scenes of farmland and the distilleries, and it's just like springtime is magical. I can't wait till you get here in May, and it's an eyeful. It's just like everywhere you go, the flowers and the trees, everything blooming. It's just like nature's jewels popping out everywhere.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, I like that. And so now you've got bourbon and horses and all this, lush landscape. And you, every time we talk to you, you say, look, it's our water. We've got good water. And I think half of the country, needs to hear that, because it's hard to get good water. So you have good water.
We have wonderful water right out of the tap. Everything is limestone filtered water. And they say that's what makes for all of the beautiful horses and tasty, tasty bourbon.
Tasty bourbon. I can't wait.
It's a water source.
I know, right? That's the whole thing. But so what's spring like, and when do you think spring starts? It changes. Weather changes every day these days, but when would you say spring really comes into being? Because spring can start in February, depending where you are in the Southwest.
It could start in February, more than likely. March is the time that you really have that sense that winter is over. But I have mowed my grass in May, and the next day it snowed. So it's really crazy weather. This Ohio Valley can be volatile as far as the weather changes. But generally speaking, I'm going to say March is when spring is here and here to stay.
Cool. Well, you know what? I like it when things change. I like weather, when it does that. I think it's so cool. It's like, okay, what's Mother Nature up to? Because she'll do what she wants.
It's whatever mood she's in.
Exactly. I like it, personally. So it's a good thing. So okay, so you said like more bourbons coming out 2018. How many stops are on the Bourbon Trail that you're on? Like how many? If you're coming
That's
to Springfield.
Hard question to answer because there's more and more all the time, and now they've added craft distilleries and the smaller distilleries. So it's a booming business. It keeps growing, and it's a really great dynamic between the old historical distilleries and then the new ones that come up. And one of the fun things is going through the distilleries. You learn so much Kentucky history, and with the new distilleries up, it's very inspiring. Some of these people are very young, and they just have the gumption to go in there and apply their craft of bourbon making. And the people traveling on the trail, they have the great joy of discovering which is their favorite bourbon.
And so you got the bourbon. Now, when do the festivals for bourbon? That starts in the summer, right? That's more like June, as I remember from last year. I don't have any brain cells left at Champagne Sundays. That's our anniversary.
Well,
they're gone.
Springfield, in June, Springfield has the Bourbon Bike Ride. And that is just really going through one of the most scenic rides in Kentucky. You go to 4 different distilleries, and you'll do a little mini tour, take your pictures, and come back. And it's also coupled with a barbecue festival and a free concert. And then in the fall, Bardstown, which is our neighbor, they have a week-long bourbon festival with all things bourbon. And at least once, everybody should come to this area just for the bourbon festival.
And then in spring, you have like the Green Festival, right? So I know California got real green this year, but this is a different green.
No, we don't have that kind of green. Our green is the sustainability green. So the festival, which we're still working on the date, and I'll release that to you as soon as it gets approved and on the calendar. But it's all about sustainability. And this area is
whoa! You went in the tunnel.
Come back.
Okay, wait. Come back out of the tunnel. She's in the bourbon barrel. That's where she is.
That's what she's doing.
Get out of there and share some. Either that or she went in the cornhole. Sorry.
Uh-oh.
Back to that again. Sorry. But no, okay, so go back on that. So this is a sustainability festival, like celebrating Mother Earth.
Awesome. It very much is. This is a very clean area. People take a lot of pride in our natural beauty. And you can drive for miles around on our state highways, the tertiary roads, everything in between. And it's so well picked up. It's just beautiful to drive through. And
that's nice.
We have the group that's called New Pioneers for a Sustainable Future. They are the spearhead of this Green Festival, and they are really a well-rounded group that is concerned with the environment, air quality, sustainability, recycle, reuse, it's a lifestyle. It's not just something you do one day a year during the festival. It's a lifestyle.
I like that.
Cool.
That's important, and I think it's important too, since you have good water, that you keep your water clean, so that we have good bourbon.
Absolutely.
And I think it was like a few months back we were talking about this. Not only bourbon, but also wine is something coming into play.
We do. We have more and more wineries and vineyards popping up. That's another thing that people have discovered about Kentucky, which is not historically one of our products. So even myself, I've just sampled a few of them locally. I have a few more to reach out. I can't wait for that. And this area really produces quality grapes.
Well,
line it up, girl. Line it up. Get it ready for us.
We will.
Yeah, one of the things we're excited about coming through is the theater. I know Steve Schnacker, a Hollywood historian, who's now sending me gifts of cornhole tossing and whatever, because I know you guys do that at an event.
Your own cornhole?
I don't know. Don't start that again. But anyway, he wanted to go to the theater. Like, he wants to go see the community theater, the Central Kentucky Theater that you have. So it's really interesting in the last year and a half, longer that you've been on the shows, talking about Springfield. You know, you've got the theater, and now you've got this, you know, the Springfield Bonham Film Complex, the movie complex, which is the only soundstage in Kentucky. All of this is happening. So, and you've got the Mid-Kentucky Arts as well, which is like the music, right? So you've got, you're becoming beyond like the bourbon and the history and Abraham Lincoln heritage that you have. We have to do a show when we're there with Glenn in England from Norfolk Tours, since he lives around the corner from Abraham Lincoln.
I think that's so weird.
Family.
You know, that connection. You would never think
we have to do that. We have to do that show and get some of your historians on there when we come out.
You have to do it in the Lincoln Legacy Museum. That would be perfect.
Oh, okay. We'll do it. How cool would that be? Because that to me is just it's just trippy, you know, how connected we all are.
There's ghosts in museums, you know.
I know. And there's certificates in that museum. there's the merit certificate. That's what I'm just saying. Abraham Lincoln's family.
You know how
Mom and Dad.
we've had our experience with ghosts in museums.
Yes, we have. Lyle the ghost. I'm just going back to that. But Steve was talking about the theater and the arts. Do you think that's going to be is now like a big part of not only quality of life for the community, but going to be an even bigger draw for the region, having so much going on in the theater, and then also being a filming location and an education location for film?
Well, I think it goes hand in hand. I have to give a lot of credit to Eric Seal, who is our managing director for the theater, for Central Kentucky Theater. He has really taken the theater program as well as the actual theater upstairs at the Opera House and changed it around. And the shows are fresh and exciting, and the children, the adults, and the youth actors, they're really getting into it and delving into new material. It's been an exciting year ever since Eric came. I can't wait to see what's coming up next. His idea of changing around the physical theater just proved to be so invigorating for the sets, and people love the new seating arrangements. I can't wait till you get here. It's something I'm going to show off.
I can't wait too. I mean, I was looking at some of the upcoming shows. You've got Peter and the Starcatcher, and that's with the youth company. So this is March 2nd through 11th. But so you've got the youth coming in and performing, because it's also the community theater side too. But the actual getting kids involved is so. I know we've talked on the show with you and Eric before, but I think it's so important because it's so important for kids to have these experiences. It keeps getting knocked out of schools, financially, and kids need a place to express themselves and take that chance of going on stage, getting over that stage fright, all of those things. But it also, when you think about, when you look at all the people that do get famous or get successful in their roles around the world, they always go back to my home community theater. Like their story becomes that. And I think that's something for Springfield, beyond being the Simpsons downtown.
That's
I
right.
love community theater. We've been to several performances of community theaters all over, and I love it. For one thing, you see that the audience knows the people who are in the performance, and you see, you're like, I wonder why you're laughing so much at that or clapping so much over there, because there's a relationship. And the performance, I don't think we've ever were disappointed or had a bad performance from a community theater. Professional theaters we've really once in a while, very rare, but seriously, community theater we've always enjoyed performances, no matter where.
Yeah.
It's so
we
important.
have really great ones. For a little town like this, it is surprising how active our community theater is. And in addition, I would really like to mention our Mid-Kentucky Arts program. Teresa Tedder is our resident composer and conductor, and she is world class. If you have a chance to come see her performances, it's something. And I'm not a weepy person, but I get weepy listening to her music. Wow. It's just, it's amazing.
Wow.
It's amazing. We're very lucky to have her.
How much bourbon? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. No, but I know what you mean. It's sort of, it's moving you. That's what music's supposed to do. That's awesome. Because I saw that, speaking of bluegrass, Bring on Broadway is a concert of Disney music with Central Kentucky Theater's youth actors and bluegrass. So this is April 6th through 8th. So it's like bluegrass music as well, or I don't know what they're talking about with the bluegrass, or is that it? It is like bluegrass music, or did I miss something here?
Well, it's just called the Bluegrass Kids. I mean, that's the group name. But this year they're combining the kids with the Mid-Kentucky Arts, their chorus and those players, and they're doing Broadway musicals. Last year they did Disney, and it was fantastic. All the arrangements were by Teresa, and this year's Broadway favorite. And she had her arrangements are so dynamic, and it keeps you just drawn in the whole time. You hate it when it's over. So these tickets, these shows sell out very fast. If you're interested in coming, call that number, because I almost didn't get in last year. I thought I was going to have to, badge my way in with the city card and claim I'm taking pictures.
No, she's going to go in and say, listen, I got this bottle of bourbon. I'll share it with you. Not give it to you. I'll share it with you. But everyone, centralkytheater.com is the website for that. And you have all the links up on visit springfieldky.com too. But I do want to touch on April 13th through 22nd. You have Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill. So, okay, this is a naughty one. It says mature audience.
Well, it's like I said, Eric Seal is shaking things up. The town is abuzz with this choice. At first, we were really scared, thinking what kind of a reception we're going to get. But as time gets closer, everybody can Google what it's about. People are really looking forward to it.
Awesome.
I like it. I like it a lot.
It's good to shake things up, and people need to lighten up.
Yeah. Got to have some fun, have some giggles. And what's that drink you guys drink over there that we're going to have at was it Malachi? I'm going to say it wrong.
At Mordecai?
No. Mordecai. Thank you. I'm just giving, Abraham Lincoln's
Mordecai the Mortician.
a different name. But what's the cocktail you guys have over there? With champagne and bourbon or something?
Oh, well, we have one. It's a local concoction. It's called Peepaw Tea, and it's 1/3 bourbon, 1/3 orange juice, and 1/3 Sprite. Very
all right.
That's almost like a kind of a rum substitute, like a Mai Tai.
We'll have to come out and do cocktail recipes when we're there. That's what we have to do.
We can come experiment and
Absolutely.
bring up our own recipes.
Oh, my gosh.
So we need a big blend bomber.
That's what we want.
It would be bourbon and whatever.
Yes.
The Big Blend Bourbon Bomber.
We're going to come up for one
just
for Big Blend.
Yeah.
Just for Big Blend.
We want a big blend. We want a big blender. It's a big blender that fills a whole house.
With a big run and a jolt on the beach.
Oh, okay. So everyone, the other thing, I know we talked about this at the beginning of the show. Okay, so the Springfield Bonded Film Complex with James Bond. So now you've got, so his history, he's done a lot in cinema, and he was a teenage actor, right? Like he was in this from a very young age.
Yes, a child star. Mm-hmm.
Do you know what he acted in?
Well, you can get on his IMDb page, and he did a lot of the
Saturday
specials.
okay.
he was on. I know he was on like Wonder Woman and The Love Boat, but he acted in a movie with like Julius Erving and it was actually an all-star cast, and it was called The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh, which I am too young to really have ever seen that.
Wow!
So when I googled it, it's named one of the like top 10 basketball movies ever. It even has a fan page.
He was on the Waltons.
He's really?
Yes.
He did it. I'm on his page right now.
Oh.
And he was on The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh, Wonder Woman TV series.
Wow. Cool.
The Love Boat.
The Love Boat. I love The Love Boat.
Vegas.
Oh.
Different one. No, different one. No, I know what you're thinking. It's not
That's
the same
Laughlin.
one. Yeah, no. Nobody should ever watch Laughlin.
That was.
Actually, no, it's funny.
Yeah.
Booker, Go Tell on the Mountain. He did a whole bunch. School
wow.
Days. Yeah,
he's
done a lot.
Bunch. So he also produced. He wrote and acted in. Produced the first all African American horror film, and it was groundbreaking work, and that's one of the reasons why he's being inducted into the Smithsonian, which we are so honored that he chose Springfield to move his operations from the West Coast over here to Central Kentucky, right in Springfield, and we cannot wait. We can hardly wait to see how it affects Springfield in a positive way.
I love it.
Cool.
I think this is so cool because it's educational opportunities too. It's so good.
I
think, the more education we can have around the world, the better. And in all, skills and talent, genres, I should say. So this is exciting stuff. Everyone, again, visit SpringfieldKY.com and go visit. And if you're a cyclist, this is another place because you're on the Transamerica Cycling Trail. And our friend Jim Ostick, who is very good at being part of our 1 Hour Walk group since he has walked across the country. He also cycled around the country. And so I want to talk to him about, this trail because there's reading his book, Palomino Dream Machine, which is about his bicycle and him going around the country. I've been reading about, there's all this huge network of cyclists and walkers around the world. And people will fly into this country, and they have those little bicycles that you can unpack and pack up if you have that kind of skill set, which I do not have.
You mean tricycles?
No, I throw them out. But anyway, people will come to this country to cycle across the country. So do you meet a lot of these people that come through because you're on the trail?
Well, the ones that stop overnight, which so many of them do, I meet a lot of them. We have a wonderful, wonderful park with shelter, and they love to stay there. And I've met so many people, not just from around east of the Mississippi. They come from California. They come from Canada. We've had them come from Tibet, Ireland, Australia, and it's just a great way to meet people. And they've all been wonderful, and it wears me out when they tell me how many miles they rode that day.
That is, I know, I'm like, dude.
It's really?
Dude, ain't happening. Ain't happening for me, but I'm glad for you. I like reading about it, watching your journey, but, I'll do my 1 hour walk. I'll do that. Because, number one, I don't know about my balance on a bicycle. That's why the bourbon bike ride thing that you're talking about, that's, I'll watch, but, don't put me on a bicycle.
You should, you could
I'll need bourbon afterwards.
No, you could
before after.
You could do the bourbon games.
Oh, my gosh, that would be so much fun.
Yeah, because when we were in South Africa, they had the Villa
Castañadas.
It's the water games, and everything revolved around water and different challenges. It was so much fun.
It is drinking games, but with, bats.
And walls you climb with soap running down the walls, and it was so much fun. So much fun to watch, and I just think the bourbon games would be something really interesting.
It's like a drunk version of Ninja Warrior.
Oh my goodness! Oh no! Oh wow!
It would be fun. It's fun. It's fun. I did it.
Wasn't that dramatic?
No, but it's laid back. It's laid back. I mean, you
fun.
have to take a drink and then spin around and then run with your baseball bat to the other side. No, anyway, didn't work, and then you fall down. But anyway, I have no clue what I'm talking about, but I do. But Stephanie, we will be chatting with you soon and planning our trip. We can't wait.
I can't wait.
Up to Natchez
yes.
Natchez Trace up from Louisiana. We're going to do parts of the El Camino Real de I'm going to say it wrong. De Tejas Trail. That's next year is so important. Or this year is so important. October is our National Historic Trails anniversary, and so we're going to do as many of them as we can. And we'll do Natchez Trace up to you, and go to all the historical places and bourbon places and barn quilt places and the Holy Land tour that you have too, and all that good stuff. And of course, go to Mordecai's and have peepaw tea. That's important. That should be the first thing we do with you, right?
That's right.
Peepaw.
I can't
just
wait.
so I can say peepaw. I just want to walk around and go peepaw.
Peepaw, and
but,
that's opposed to meemaw. You know what that is.
Your mom. Oh.
It's your grandparents. Your meemaw and your peepaw.
Oh, okay. I was like, I went there, but then I was like, Okay, we're gonna come meet you up there. Well, we know you, but I mean, come see you and speak Springfieldian. that's what we're gonna do. We'll learn. But I have a special song for you and I think I've played this for you before, but I'm playing it again because of your water and bourbon, your Holy Land tour. I've put one song I didn't write it, I didn't sing it, but Allison August did, and she's cool. This is called Holy Water, so I figured we'd play it for you.
And it's Sunday.
And I'm thinking bourbon has got to be holy water if it comes from really good water and like what you have, so that's a good song for you. So
wonderful.
Check it out.
Thank you for joining us on 11
years. Thank you, and thank you for being part of every part of it, all 11 years. And way before that with the print magazine and everything, you've been a long time on this journey. So it's been super cool having you part of it and super fun. And we can't wait to come and see you and give you a big hug and have some peepaw tea. And bourbon. All right, everybody, here it is. Holy Water, again, from Allison August. It's the title track of her latest album, and you can go to AllisonAugust.com, and she has 2 L's in her name because she's special and she's cool. But thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Everybody, again, visit SpringfieldKY.com.
I've been working many hours. Oh, yes, I woke up a long time ago. I aspire to draw on higher power, but sometimes I just feel so low. He don't know
one again. That was Allison August, and her latest album is Holy Water, so that was a title track, and I think that's just perfect.
That's awesome.
We have to play that on the Champagne Sunday show. I want to thank everyone who's joined us. We've got our next special feature, Steve Schneickert's Hollywood History of 1930s and 40s radio, and he did this about 4 years ago on our show for our anniversary show, and we just wanted to bring it out of the vault and play it because it's good and something to just think about when we look at what's going on in technology in the world and where did it come from, you know, radio, and how radio was such a big part of the world. So everybody enjoy. Here's Steve Schneikert with Hollywood History of Radio.
Cheers to Big Blend today. Reed and Smith will have a lot to say when inviting guests to be on air to show their best with some original tricks. Where any object can be a subject, like ruby reds upon the yellow bricks. Their guests are always great. The show's agenda, quite top rate. Where anyone at all from Global Henry to Chef Jeremy Manley is equally understood. Sit down and start a trend. Turn on Big Blend. Let's move on to Hollywood. Once radio was king. That was long ago, and almost unknown to those who do not remember it firsthand. Radio was the first medium that brought live entertainment into the homes of Americans across the country. Families rushed home from work to listen to their favorite shows broadcast into their living rooms and parlors. Movie stars that they watched on the silver screen in neighborhood theaters were now invited into their homes. When audiences discovered that radio shows were created in studios with sound effect men, technicians, writers, announcers, band leaders, and stars, script in hand, speaking into microphones, their imagination was not diminished. Alan Ladd, Clark Gable, or Errol Flynn could hop a plane, fly around the world, apprehend criminals, and return to police headquarters in time to save the life of an innocent girl, all in the space of half an hour without leaving the studio. The magic that was radio was never lost on audiences. But where were these factories of fabrication and fantasy where Jack Benny, Lucille Ball, Judy Garland, Burns and Allen, Al Jolson, Fanny Bryce, Amos and Andy, Sophie Tucker, Eddie Cantor, Bing Crosby, Bob Hope, and many more assembled to entertain America in the 1930s and the 1940s. Why, Hollywood, USA, of course. By the late 1930s, Hollywood, California was famous around the world as the movie capital. It was also home to all major radio studios that broadcast coast to coast. NBC opened its new modern studios at the intersection of Sunset and Vine. A block away, CBS opened its new modern studios at Columbia Square. The Hollywood Palladium opened 2 years later between NBC and CBS with the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra featuring band singer Frank Sinatra. ABC set up shop a few doors north on Vine Street. Surrounding the studios were the Radio Room, Capitol Records, Club Morocco, Mike Lyman's and the famous Tom Brenneman's Breakfast in Hollywood restaurant, Clara Bow's The It Cafe, the world-famous Vine Street Brown Derby, and on Selma Avenue, the RCA Building. It was a glorious year, 1938, for Hollywood and for radio. While NBC called their new studios Radio City, the entire area became famous across America and around the globe. Cheers to many more years over the airwaves, Nancy and Lisa. I am Steve Schneikert, and this is Radio Hollywood History as I recall it.
awesome?
That's so cool.
Isn't it awesome? I love Steve's segments. I know so many people do. And thank you, Steve Schneikert, for doing them and being part of this. Whether feeling top of the world health-wise or not so top of the world, you're always top of the world to us.
That's for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody who's been part of today's anniversary show. We have so much that is going to happen this year, so much happening with our nationalparktraveling.com website, our magazines, our radio shows, Big Blend Radio and TV magazine. We just thank you all for being a part of it, whether you're listening, reading, watching, or being a contributor, an expert, or a partner in what we do marketing-wise that helps us give some of these opportunities we were talking about earlier. So if you're a convention and visitor bureau, an attraction, a museum, a park, a nonprofit or government-run agency that is in tourism, please contact us for your free opportunity so we can get more travelers to you, your gateway communities, and parks.
Why would you not sign up?
Mama Babushka's back again.
No, I look in crystal ball. I see all you nonprofits. Why you not sign up? You go, you'll sign up.
I have to get to 2018 listings, page listings for this.
You're going to be very busy, little Missy.
I'm not that little. Anyway.
Okay, you'll be very busy, big Missy.
Big Blend Missy. That's what you meant to say, right? Everybody also keep up with us on Facebook under Big Blend Magazine. We've got 5 awesome groups. One of them is the one our walk group. We have a Celebrating the Arts and Creative Spirit group, one for Positive People for Peace on the Planet, Gardens, Farms, Local Flavors, Recipes, and one about parks and travel. So check it out. Facebook under Big Blend Magazine, and also one under National Park Travel Magazine as well. If you just go to bigblendmagazines.com, you'll be able to connect through all those places to all those places. And one of the best things to do is to get our newsletter. Our email newsletter comes only once a week. You get articles, radio interviews, upcoming shows, videos, recipes, but also you'll get the magazines, our Big Blend Radio and TV magazine and Parks and Travel magazine, both digital and interactive in your email box. So, and you'll have a magazine a month, so it's all cool. So check that out. And again, thank you all for being part of this. Since it's Champagne Sundays and we like wine, we got to play that. We're going to play Summer Wine from Shelley King.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Austin-based, she's a state musician of Texas, and she's also featured in the current issue of Big Blend Radio and TV magazine with her new album, Fan Faves. And Summer Wine is one of her fan faves songs, So we're going to play that, but I also want to invite you all to come join us on Wednesday for our Quality of Life show. We have, that's going to be January 10th at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We have Olin and Christopher Bell, who's known as Chris James. He's the co-founder of the 70s hit-making soul group, The Natural Four. He's going to talk about his memoir, Music Saved My Life. It's incredible story. Dr. Jackie Ubani is back on our show to talk about her life and career as a doctor. She is the author of Women and Heart Disease, A Real Story. And Becky Baines talks about the National Geographic Kids book that you didn't know. Fascinating, far-out, fantastic facts. I had to do that. We are as kids. You didn't know, did you? Mine's better than yours.
I knew more than you did.
All right, here's some summer wine. It may not be summer, but some of us need some summer warmth. So, Stephanie, you may want this too. Again, ShelleyKing.com. That's Shelley with an EY, and she's featured in BlendRadioandTV.com. So enjoy. Take care, everyone.
I've been thinking about getting away. Maybe I just need a little escape, away from all this busying around. Find a little time to come unwound. It's so easy to get caught up in this race, with so many dreams to chase. Then I hear that song on the radio, making me wanna go out in the sunshine, sip a little summer wine, slow dancing in the park, stay there till after dark. Sweet sound, soft and low, song on the radio. Maybe we could take a little drive out past the city to the countryside, holding hands and talking about love, away from all this push and shove. Take some time to look into your eyes, reconnect our disconnected lives. Remember how it used to be, when all that mattered was you and me. It's so easy to get caught up in this race, with so little time to waste. Then I hear that song on the radio, making me wanna go out in the sunshine, sip a little summer wine, slow dancing in the park, stay there till after dark. Sweet sound, soft and low, song on the radio. After all is said and done, you know you are my only one. Oh, darling, give your love to me. Then we'll hear our song